Welcome to Premier Sports, your home for hockey. Saturday nights, all right for hockey in the Elite Ice Hockey League, and we're coming to you live from Coventry, the Sky Dome, the venue, as the Blaze welcome the top of the table Cardiff Devils to town. Legends, past and present. It's a special night here at the Sky Dome. We'll celebrate one of those legends indeed. Welcome inside the Sky Dome. What a night of hockey we have ahead for you. It's the Challenge Cup champions versus the playoff champions. Buckle up, folks. The intensity picking up. Cowley, a gentleman of a player. Giving it to Hewitt right there. Goodness gracious, it's 4-0. Ashley Tate.
Quick shot from the blue line, takes a huge deflection, and just like that, the Devils have a 2-goal lead.
Ashley Tate and the Coventry Blaze are your playoff final weekend champions.
The Cardiff Devils are the Challenge Cup winners 2015.
Aaron Murphy alongside Paul Adey. There's a really good atmosphere here inside the Sky Dome. A couple of teams that won some trophies last year. A team that's really not exceeding expectations, but probably right where they want to be is the Cardiff Devils. And it's not that long ago we saw Ashley Tate raise that playoff championship trophy, Paul. And a lot of people saying what's wrong with the Coventry Blaze as we look at the league table now. It is first versus 10th, but you know what? Chuck Weber has that swagger. We saw him down there earlier. He's got that belief. It looks like when he came in last year and took over. Is there hope ahead for the Blaze?
Well, of course there is. I mean, you have to be positive, and you know you got some work to do to turn things around. But they do have a lot of games in hand, and they know they got to win some of those games. Even if they went just 500 in those games in hand, it would probably take them up into a playoff position, which I think will probably be their goal, you know, to start with.
We had a chat with Chuck Weber, the man who came in here last year and impressed so many people, the way his professionalism, the way he oversaw everything from diet to off-ice training and really brought in a professional system to the Coventry Blaze. And as we said, they went on to win that playoff championship. And sometimes winning that final game of the season can do a lot. But it's a different Blaze team, and there's been some hurdles and some obstacles. There's been some changes. Ned Lukasevic is gone. Chris Lawrence is gone. But they've got Brian Stewart between the pipes, and there is that belief. 907 save percentage for Brian Stewart coming into this game. The 3.35 goals against average. He'd like to have that come down. Let's have a look at that column there. Goals for and goals against, Coach. If you look at the Blaze, they've only scored 45. That's the big problem. We've said that. But they've only conceded 56. The best team in the league right now for goals against is the Panthers at 55. So there are some positives, especially over the last little while for the Coventry Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, another thing that's interesting is if you look at the two goalies tonight, they both have the same save percentage, although the records are miles apart, but the save percentage is the same. So it's not always the goalie's fault, you know, it's not always the coach's fault. It's the whole team has to pick it up and get hard to the net and stop at the net and finish off those scoring chances and be willing to go to those dirty areas that you need to score goals.
Yeah, the big difference is the goals against average there, but I think more so it's the a baseball term, the run support. 81 goals for the Devils, 45 for the Blaze. So you can see why even with the same save percentage, Bounds and the Devils have been much more successful thus far.
Yeah, well, that will change also when they play their games in hand. You know, that's not up there on the board. And when you've played 5 games less than some teams, I mean, you know, those stats will change considerably. But overall, I mean, Coach Weber knows what he's got to work on, and I'm sure he's going to do that every day till he gets it right.
Well, don't touch that dial. We'll see if they get it right tonight, but we've also got a lot of special stuff going on behind us right out there. Don't miss it. Welcome back to the Sky Dome in Coventry as we await a special ceremony in behind us. But what would a week in the EIHL be without talking about discipline, DOPS, etc., etc.? Let's have a look at the penalty minutes first, Paul Adey, because you look there's some guys at the top of that rostrum. You know, Valabic's back now as well. He's a big guy at 6'7" for Coventry. Hendricks isn't afraid of anyone. Hotham is out of this game. But Noble, I mean, both of these teams need to stay out of the box is the long and the short of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, your discipline is always key throughout the regular season, and a team that can stay disciplined throughout the season is more than likely going to put themselves in a very good position to win a league title, and I think it's going to be very important. I mean, you do have your tough guys in your lineup, but they have to be more disciplined than anybody to win.
Well, let's have a look at the most recent Department of Player Safety video, because this was obviously something that really got people around the league their back up. We'll talk about the review, but let's take it through first. In real time, it looks, it looks pretty bad as Tyson Marsh coming across here, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, in real time, it looks pretty bad. I mean, if we could have saw it there as the contact was made, that would make it a bit easier to discuss it. I mean, we'll see if they can stop it just when the hit. Here it comes here. Now, if you look at Marsh, I think the reason they reduced it from 5 to 2 is because Marsh's arm is tucked in against his body when he makes contact. And I believe his lower part of his shoulder hits the upper part of, I think it's Moran's shoulder. And I think it's more the intensity of the check that injures him rather. I don't think it was a dirty hit. And I think that's probably why his arm does come up a little bit at the end. Doesn't make contact with his head. It's really hard to tell from the video. So you can see why they reduced it from 5 to 2. In this situation here,
this is the Hotham incident.
Yeah, I mean, the guy goes over the goalie. Of course, you're going to see a little reaction. So comes in here, and he gives him a shot once. I think it's the second shot that costs him the suspension. The first one was on the shoulder, more of a warning. You can see it here, close up one. That's not, but it's this one here. You can see when any contact to the head or neck with a stick like that, you're going to get suspended for that. So I don't think there's much of an argument with that one, but you never know. You never know.
So you think the main thing there, more so on the Marsh, is that the original point of contact, in real time it looked vicious and it looked like there's definitely a head-hunting situation. As you slow it down there, you see a little bit of a different perspective where the Panthers player maybe has put himself in an awkward position as well. Marsh is coming through there, and that's why it went from 5 to 2 in your expert opinion?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of factors, and I'm sure, the committee discussed a lot of different things and looked at everything and came up with that decision. Credit to Simon Kirkham, because I thought he put a good committee together, a good blend of people, and that's what his job is to do. And then I think in the end, the decision was right, but that's up to people to decide, and everyone sees it a bit differently, because when you look at it, like you said, at full speed, it does look bad. But when you slow it up and stop it and look at it, Marsh's position on the hit, it didn't look like there was any targeting to the head. If there was contact afterwards, that is possible.
Well, the long and the short of it is no Marsh and no Hotham for the Cardiff Devils in this one. We're going to have a look at the last 10 results between these two sides, or the last 10 results of all matches. I mean, if you're Chuck Weber, you're not happy with all of that red, and if you're Cardiff, you're certainly happy with 5 out of 6 points in Scotland last weekend.
Yeah, that's a good weekend, because it's not so easy to take the points out of Scotland this year, as we're seeing with results, and Cardiff will be very happy about that. But they're going to want to keep that momentum going, and they got 2 key defensemen out. And it's going to be tough for them tonight, because Coventry really need the points. Even though they have all these games in hand, they've got to get some results.
Well, you got to go 4-2 in those 6 games maybe you have in hand, don't you?
Well, a minimum of 3-3, and I think that puts them into a playoff position, and from there try to grow from there. But you're right, they need some good results here.
Well, I was about to say, no Marsh, no Hotham, and Marsh is probably the best all-around defenseman for the Devils. Hotham was the most outstanding defenseman in the EIHL at the end of season awards last year. I mean, he's got 37 points, I believe. I mean, it's 2 big losses, and if Cardiff were going to start to claw some of those points back in the games in hand, with both of those individuals out of this game, this is a prime opportunity for the Blaze.
Yeah, prime opportunity. I mean, Cardiff are missing Marsh, who's one of the better defensive defensemen in the league, and Hotham, for me, is one of the best all-round defensemen in the league. So that's 2 big losses for the Devils. This is a big opportunity for Coventry to take advantage of the fact they're going to be short on defense and play a high-energy game, get that forecheck going early, and see if you can get some early goals, build some confidence.
Well, confidence is the name of the game, and sometimes when your leading scorer is 54th in the league, that confidence isn't there. But certainly a guy like Carl Lozon, I mean, he had a lot of points for Hull last year, over 60, so he could definitely he could definitely be the guy to lead that charge. And you know what? The last time they played, Coventry here with a big 4-1 win over the same Cardiff Devils.
Yeah, well, I mean, that will give them confidence going into the game, knowing that they've been able to beat them. Because prior to that, I think they lost 7 in a row.
Yeah.
So you want to get a win in there, build some confidence against a team that's had your number. But right now, you know, the momentum's with Coventry. They won the last one 4-1.
Well, we're in darkness here. The atmosphere is building because a legend of the game, a legend of the Elite League, a legend of the Coventry Blaze folklore, a guy who wore number 25, I believe. He was magnificent, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a fantastic player. And Calder, you know, what I liked about him was he played for 60 minutes. He came to play every night. He had a bit of an edge to his game, and he could do it all. He was good defensively. He could score goals. The complete player, and you could see why they're retiring his jersey this evening.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Calder and Dan Carlson were lights out, weren't they?
Yeah, they were probably one of the best 1-2 combination the Elite League has ever seen. And they were hard to play against. They were always, and they were extremely good under pressure in the big games and also in the third periods. These were two great players. And, you know, you always need, if you're a goal scorer, you always need someone who can get you the puck. And I think that's why these guys played so well together.
Yeah, Adam Calder knew where the back of the net was. You look at the 2007-2008 season when they were league title winners, 75 games played, 63 goals. Those are Paul 80 type numbers right there.
Well, I tell you, that's an incredible season, 63 goals in 75 games. But the most impressive stat for me is if you can see the 38 game-winning goals, that just shows a guy who's competing right to the bitter end. And that's my favorite stat of all his stats. 38 game-winning goals is astonishing.
Yeah, 38 GWGs. And I tell you what, I mean, you talk to everyone around the Sky Dome earlier today. No one has anything but positive things, both on and off the ice, from that era, and especially from Calder. And you know what? It's fitting that his jersey will go up into the rafters. Now, Paul 80, your jersey, your number is retired high above the ice at the NIC. Tell our viewers a little bit about the emotions that Mr. Calder will be feeling right now. You've been there.
Yeah, it's a real honor. You know, it's an appreciation of everything you did for the club over the years, and it's just the one word is just such an honor. I mean, I can't think of another word to describe it, and this is going to be one of his best nights of his career, really, because not many times, not many players, you know, get that jersey lifted to the rafters, and you know, for the rest of the years of the club, and it's well deserved. His numbers prove it, and the championships prove it also.
A lovely moment for Adam Calder, number 25, immortalized now in Coventry Blaze history. And a lot of people would... That number 25 was immortalized a long time ago with those titles and those statistical excellence that we have shown. We're going to have some stuff in the first and second intermission. Some nice video stuff and some chats with Adam Calder. It's a special night for Adam Calder. And Paul 80, your number 22 high above the NIC. Nothing for good old Murph over here.
Well, I mean, you know, the fans, you know, it's a good crowd tonight here. They've come to celebrate the moment and show their appreciation, which, you know, you do have a great crowd here in Coventry. Yeah. And I especially remember those days when you came in here and those guys were playing, the crowd got behind them. And, you know, any player will tell you if the crowd's behind you.
Kluche was here at that time as well. He was a magnificent player for them.
I mean, the crowd plays a big part in it. You feel that the atmosphere in the stands, and it picks you up, and it drives you, especially in that third period. And you saw a lot of that. He had good support from the fans, so you can see that now, and it's wonderful.
You can see the crowd support. I said it earlier. I think, you know, we joke about people saying he's a bit grumpy off the ice or didn't want to have any media attention, but no one says anything bad about Calder, and the fact that you see the admiration and you see the outpouring of affection from the folks around the Sky Dome. That tells you all you need to know about Mr. Calder.
Yeah, and every player leads in a different way. Some guys are quiet, some guys are noisy about it, and obviously he was a quieter guy, but you know, a lot of those guys who are quiet in the room do a lot out there on the ice, and that doesn't take, you don't have to say a lot in the room. just a little word here and there, and that's enough to be a good leader, and then you go and show what you mean on the ice, and I think he was one of those kinds of player.
Well, we should mention this is also a special night for Ashley Tate, the current captain of the Coventry Blaze. He has played 499. This is his 500th appearance for the Coventry Blaze in all competitions. So a special night for Adam Calder, a special night for Ashley Tate, and two great captains.
Yeah, I mean, Ashley, again, another guy who's won a lot of trophies in the league, and 500 games is a lot. And to play him with the same club, I mean, that's a great record for him, and a great accomplishment, I should say. And, you know, Ashley's very loyal to this team. I mean, and he plays hard every night still today. You know, he'll come out tonight and play a hard game, and that's why he's been re-signed year after year, and he's played all those games. So credit to him for persevering all these years.
And Ashley Tate actually leads the Blaze with 8 goals, so still putting up numbers. As the golden years, shall we say. But Chuck Weber will go with Brian Stewart between the pipes, and you see there Boris Valabek is one of those guys that we talked about. It's important for them to have him back and have that sort of physical presence. Teams play a little bit different when you have a 6'7" guy back there. It's a little tougher to get to the net, and certainly you won't take liberties.
No, pick on guys in a game when there's a guy like that in your lineup, and he does stick up for his guys, and he does his job out there, and just as, like you said, his presence out there is enough to discourage teams.
Carl Lozon leads the club with 19 points. He will be important there in 91, the former Hull Stingray, who had 31 goals last year. Let's have a look at the Cardiff Devils, because they were quite patient. They have just come out onto the ice. They let the Blaze and Calder have their moment, but here is the side that Andrew Lord will go with. Ben Bounds will get the start. Of course, no Hotham and Marsh. They are suspended, and with both of those guys, that's a little bit. We'll pause for the national anthem. Mike Hicks in charge of this one, Matt Rose and Sam Motton on the lines. We mentioned there right before the national anthem that it's definitely a tougher test for the Devils without two of the better defensemen around the EIHL. But this is a team coached by Andrew Lord that seems to be able to find ways to win, and certainly 3 overtime games in 3 last weekend in Scotland. They're a team that has that belief that they can get the job done.
Yeah, and like we discussed, they have a lot of offense in their lineup, and you know when you have 5-6 guys you can go to in critical moments in the game who can put the puck in the back of the net. I mean, that always helps. And even some of their defensemen, like we were talking earlier, can jump up into the play or jump into the cycle and create some good offensive scoring opportunities. So I think that's going to be Coventry's big challenge in this game, is controlling that stuff. Looking at Coventry, you've time in Cardiff, and then give them that offensive time in your end of the ice. So I'd be surprised if Coventry didn't come hard early in this game and try to create a goal to get an early lead here and get the fans behind them.
Should also mention, we talk about the loss of Marsh and Hoffman. No Brent Walton, he's out hurt as well. So, I mean, Walton, a fantastic player, but the leading goal scorer, or the leading point getter for the Cardiff Devils is Joey Martin. He's got 42 points, 15 goals, 27 assists. So there's weapons up and down that lineup without a doubt.
No, I mean, that's not going to be a concern for the Devils in terms of their scoring. They still have a lot of guys who can put the puck in the back of the net. I mean, the only worry for them is if they're shorthanded at the back. Coventry come out and play a physical game, try to take advantage of that, and try to maybe wear a few of their defensemen out. That could be the difference in the game.
Well, Culligan, who is a forward, is starting on the blue line. Number 57 is playing alongside Richardson. So right away, Andrew Lord with some lineup manipulation, as he has Culligan with the puck right now playing game. Richardson up the wall for Lord. Valabek goes back. Martin trying to take a run at him, and Martin going up against Valabek, who's 6'7", is a mismatch, but Martin is game. Here's Tate. We mentioned his 500th game in all competitions for the Blaze. What a magnificent achievement. Here is Salters. Salters throws it out front. That skips into the crease, and back comes the captain, Tate. Tate using Culligan as a screen, tried to put it through his legs and bounds. Makes a good save. The rebound control important there.
Yeah, Bounds, I mean, he's a great goalie, and, you know, he does a good job controlling that. And the thing is, you know, early in a game like that, you don't want to give up those rebounds. You don't want to allow Coventry to get that forecheck going. So Bounds does a great job just holding on to that puck and allowing his coach, again, I talked about this before, giving his coach a chance to make a change if he needs to.
And here's another good example of players stepping up. Chris Jones, 30 games played, no points. He's going to be asked to play a lot more minutes in this game, and right there he won an important defensive zone draw. So guys already stepping up for the Devils. Coventry trying to get the crowd, well, keep the crowd in it, because everyone's energized after the Calder ceremony. So right now, a guy like Carl Lozon getting that open goal would be huge for Chuck Weber.
Yeah, you can see the Coventry going hard with two guys early here, and they've already got the Devils to cough one up. Oh, almost a goal there.
Lozon off the side of the net. Fans down to our left, their angle, they thought it was in. And we mentioned Lozon, his 19 points leading the way, but he's the type of guy, last year 31 goals, 35 assists. If he gets going, it would be deadly for the Blaze. Here's Tanaka. Tanaka back to the point. Good shot there. Held on by Bounds. It was a quick shot by Petrus, and I tell you what, Bounds is not been under siege, but he's had a couple of touches, which isn't a bad thing for a goalie either.
No, I mean, you get a couple of early saves, get your confidence, and but a good job from the Blaze keeping that puck in on the forecheck and creating a couple of good scoring opportunities, and that's what they're going to have to do here. I think they're really going to have to work this Cardiff defense, and hopefully it'll pay off later in the game for them.
Hervado now. Big defensive zone draw. Robinson thrown out. Hervado can't get the draw from Petrus. Petrus keeps his feet moving. Richardson couldn't box out on him, but Salters with that big reach. Salters barreling through there, knocks Jorgensen off the puck. And Lee Salters, 9 goals, 12 assists. He's the type of player that the Devils have enjoyed seeing at the Big Blue tent without question. Here's Richardson. Richardson keeps it in. Quick shot, Hervado. Turned aside and back the other way. A little bit of run and gun hockey right now. Not a bad thing for the fans indeed. Here's Fisher. Fisher trying to keep it in against Batch. He does. Batch knocked him down. And Petrus back to the point. Valabic with Robinson in front, just trying to get the puck through. A smart play, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get the puck to the net as much as possible, especially in the, these smaller rinks. Any chance you get in that offensive zone, you want to fire it at the net and go for rebounds. There's a lot of rebounds in these kind of games.
Hervado with a shot down the other way and a good kick save by Stewart. Petrus after a long shift, he was impressive on that tour of duty. Hudson had that go behind him. Tate goes end around, and as he tries to get it back to the point, it's too far for Mike Cannell. Battle along the wall now as Cowley. Cowley doing a good job against Hudson. Hudson finally frees it up. Cowley, excellent work along the dasher to Venus. Venus couldn't pick that up, and Hudson has seen enough, and he'll slow it down for the Devils. Here's Lord, the player coach of Cardiff, to Martin. Chance for Doucette. Oh, right on the crease, and right there for Lord, and somehow the biscuit stays out of the basket, but oh, baby, did Doucette have a prime chance for Cardiff. Here's Hendricks. Hendricks to Lord. Lord to Martin. Martin gets on his horse, gets there ahead of Noble. Back to the line for Richardson. Richardson lets fly, and it bobbles around in there, but Stewart manages to hold on with Martin right there.
Well, if you look at the speed of Martin on that scoring chance, I mean, he's so quick, and if you get him in the puck at the right time, he'll get to that net for you. Look at that. I mean, Stewart is scrambling a little bit there. I think he might have whacked that out of the air. I mean, maybe we'll see it a bit from behind a little bit better here. But nice play there from Martin, and the puck comes in, and I'm not too sure if it was a defenseman who cleared that or Stewart, but a good scoring opportunity for the Devils, not finished. But you can see how dangerous the Devils are offensively with that speed.
He got some help there, but what's impressive for a 6'5" guy, he's nimble, isn't he, Brian Stewart? battling right back into that play, even though he was kind of out of position. Here's Trim, former Clan man. Back to the point, Tanaka. Tanaka being watched by Jones. Here's Lazan. Lazan out to the hash mark, tries to scream it up top with Trim in front, and that'll come all the way back down to the Blaze blue line. Cannell settles it down. Cannell and Clements go D to D. Lazan with a nice little move there around Richardson. And Lazan again wheels out. He's got some gas in the tank in this one, does Lazan. Tanaka up the wall, and that will be picked off, and back the other way is Haddad. 2-on-2 with Jones. Haddad, long range shot. That's a good active stick by David Clements, taking away the shooting lane, up and out of play.
Yeah, good job there from the defenseman, forcing the shot wide and getting the stick in front of it and making it tough to get a shot to the net. But a good pace to this game, up and down, and it's an entertaining game so far.
Back and forth there, Paul.
Enjoying this, and I like to see that. You always like to see the speed of the game, and I think it's been a good start to the first period here.
And as I mentioned, the fans are energized. Everyone's been talking about Calder all afternoon, and if you could get that first goal or at least get the fans into the game, this isn't an easy place to play when the Sky Dome is rocking.
No, it's tough to play in here when it's rocking, and I think the fans are just absorbing this game right now. You know, they're having a good look to see how the Blaze are going to play, and maybe because they've had some, you know, not some of their best performances this year in here, and the fans are taking a little bit of time to get completely into the game. Like you said, a goal from Coventry could make that happen.
Here's Tate. He leads them with 8 snipes on the season. In behind for Cowley. Cowley, who recently scored his 100th EIHL goal, can play forward and defense. He's a useful player indeed for this Coventry Blaze side. Back to the point, and bombing away was big Josh Batch. Scramble in front of Stewart, but the Blaze again try and settle it down, and Tate will just gain the center ice line and sift it in for a line change. Jorgensen a long way from his defensive position. That looked like it took a little tip from Fisher's stick there. Back to the line, good glove save. Petrus is right there, and there's good action in front of bounds. Robinson, Godfrey turns, Godfrey fires, had the top corner there, but just missed the target. Here's Fisher. Fisher back to the line, and Noble couldn't keep it in. Noble is going to come forward. Noble walks across the line, hands it off, big shot. Fisher, Robinson, and a good, you know what? Petrus has been really impressive so far. And this line has definitely had some jump for Chuck Weber. Here's Fisher. Robinson. But Lord around Godfrey, just trying to get it out of the Devil's zone, and he succeeds in doing so. But right back, counterattack. Robinson out front. Petrus waved at it. Fisher now. This almost looks like a power play. I can assure you it's 5-on-5 hockey, and Petrus with the tip and takes a little shot at Batch, but excellent work from this line for the Blaze.
Oh, that's a great shift from this line. They really got the fans into the game with this shift, and you could hear the fans started cheering and getting into it, and just good hard work, you know, good movement and good cycling, and making it tough on the Devils to get the puck, and also, you know, good pinch from the defenseman to keep the puck in the zone and keep that offense going. So a really good start here for the Blaze.
Face off to the right of Bounds. It'll be Jones versus Lazan. As I mentioned, Jones stepping up, getting more ice time here. Culligan playing defense as they try and navigate some of these suspensions. There's Tanaka. Tanaka, nice little move. Stuck his left hand out there against the much bigger Culligan and keeps on going. Excellent stuff from Tanaka, and he's going to draw a penalty as he kept his feet moving expertly, and the Devils couldn't keep up.
Well, you're exactly right. In the offensive zone, you keep the feet moving, makes it tough on the defense. Eventually, they're going to hook you or slash you to try to get that puck off your stick, and this is where the Blaze have had success early in the period. Just, you know, good hustle, and they created a good opportunity here early with a power play.
And it's Culligan, and that's interesting because he's usually a forward. He's playing defense in this game and couldn't keep up with Tanaka, who's got good wheels anyway, but maybe playing out of position. He puts a grab and a hook in there, and he'll sit for 2 or less.
Yeah, it's not easy when you're switching from forward to D, but so far he's looked solid back there, looked pretty calm, but you're right, you see things, you're doing things a little bit differently in the defensive zone, so it's an adjustment for him to make.
Big power play opportunity now for Coventry. As you mentioned, the crowd are in it. It's back and forth, and maybe neither Lord or Weber want it to be a track meet, but so far it's been fun to watch for the faithful here at the Sky Dome, and certainly fun for us as it's been back and forth. As there hasn't really been a feeling out process. A lot of games, the first few shifts, teams are waiting to see what's in the tank, and Tanaka's in front there. And that shot never gets through by Godfrey. He'll go back and collect it, but there was no feeling out phase at all at the start of this one.
No, but you just look at that block shot from Morissette. That's something that the Devils do a lot. They block a lot of shots, and that's so important, and you really help your goalie out when you can do that.
Good job on the penalty kill there by Hudson as well. Reading and reacting, didn't get selfish and go with it, just dumps it down into the corner. And as Godfrey will start out again for the Blaze. Here's Tate. Tate. A minute to go in the power play. 12:30 to go in the period. Tate's in front. Not afraid to go to those greasy areas to get a goal as the captain, and here he is now out on the flank. Tries to put it through. Hudson's been impressive on this penalty kill. Knocked that down, and on a second attempt gets it ahead to Martin. And Martin, as you so rightly said, Paul, those wheels, that speed is a real X factor for Martin. Nearly got away shorthanded there. Here's Fisher. Fisher with 25 seconds to go in the man advantage. Fisher down low underneath the goal line. Back to Robinson. Robinson being watched by Haddad. Robinson. Good effort by Haddad. And Haddad walks in. And again, Stewart always seems to have the right angle. And I guess when you're 6'5", that's a real asset. You take up a lot of room in there. The power play is over as Culligan steps out. A couple of decent chances there, but you'd have to say a good job by the penalty killers, especially Hudson.
Yeah, I mean, Cardiff are really well positioned there throughout that whole penalty kill. They did a great job, blocking shots, and maybe Coventry can move the puck a little bit quicker at times rather than taking that extra stride before making the pass. But credit Cardiff because they pressured Coventry into making one or two mistakes there.
Richardson trying to go to Morissette. Venus will just dump it in, and Bounds will play it for Batch. Batch takes a bump from Trim. Here's Salters. Lee Salters, 32 goals last year for the Brayhead clan. 9 goals this season for Cardiff. He's a handful when he gets going, Lee Salters. A big body and a good skater for a big man. Trim dumps it into the corner. Tanaka takes a bump. Tanaka takes a second bump from Hervado, but kept it alive, and a jam play. Nice feed by Lazon. Good jam play by Tanaka as he takes another bump there. He took 3 hits in that sequence to make a play. Hats off to Kale Tanaka.
Yeah, I mean, good work again from Tanaka and Lozon, making some quick little passes, giving goes, and a good scoring chance there. A great pass from Lozon to Tanaka, but again, Bounds is keeping his team in it here in the first period.
Lazon waved at that. It was bouncing over his stick, and Guillaume Doucette, good hit there by Godfrey, but Doucette kept on going, and then he gets a chance. Kept his feet moving. This is excellent stuff, but there's a penalty coming up against the Blaze as Guillaume Doucette, he's got 18 goals this season, and he showed you why with that burst. There's the chance by Tanaka.
Yeah, Tanaka got a bit of a shot in there, and Bounds covered that pretty easily. And when they went down the ice the other way, you could see there was a slash on the play, and but that was again, Doucette. He knows he's going to get lined up along the boards. He takes the hit and keeps going. I mean, anytime you throw that hip check, you got to make sure that you pinch that guy off. He can't get by you, otherwise you're in trouble. And that allowed Doucette to move in for a decent scoring opportunity.
First power play now for Cardiff. Coventry are 0 for 1. Brett Robinson is the penalized player. He'll sit for 2 or less as Petrus wins that face-off. Here's Jorgensen. Jorgensen up the left side, kept in. Hervado lets it go back to Richardson. Richardson just throws it in front, paddled away by Stewart, and they will get 200 feet. 9:35 to go, opening period here on your home for Hockey Premier Sports. Coventry, Cardiff, no score on Adam Calder's special night. The Blaze would love a win. The Devils, top of the table Devils, have other ideas. Richardson setting up to Martin. Martin to Morissette. Morissette to Lord. He screams one. Good stop by Stewart. And Stewart came out well beyond the blue paint there, challenging. Hudson. Hudson to Martin. Martin. Eye for goal. Couldn't pull the trigger. And the Blaze, that's excellent pressure relief right there, Paul, with a minute to go on this power play.
Yeah, good job from them, but also a great breakout from Cardiff. I mean, they're moving up the ice with a lot of speed, a lot of good, quick, hard passes, and they're getting into the zone pretty easily.
Salters being dogged there by Venus. Salters back to Hudson, and now Hudson's going to have to be careful as Venus was coming at him with a head of steam. Good play by Hudson. Hervado. Hervado gains the line, dumps into the corner, and he'll battle against Clements. Back to Kirka. Kirka, another shot block there. Good work by Ross Venus indeed, sacrificing his body there against Thomas Kirka, the firm former NHLer. Delayed call coming up. Bounds will get to the bench, but not in time to set anything up, as the Blaze will be penalized again, Paul 80. We talked about discipline off the top.
Yeah, it looked like a cross-check there that referee Hicks has called, and looks like against...
cross-check against Valabic.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably just trying to clear the net a little bit or move a guy along the board, something like that. But, you know, the referees, they're really picky on the stick work nowadays. You got to keep that stick on the ice and, you know, play stick on stick and not so much stick on body. And if you look at that, it's a 5-on-3 or only for 6 seconds. And Stewart, I think, is trying to buy a little bit of time there for maybe one of his defensemen to get his breath back.
Good opportunity now for Andrew Lord's side. Good face-off win. Richardson trying to get it through. Lord went right to the front of the net, and in 1 second it will be a 5-on-4. Brett Robinson returns. Brett Robinson tries to jump in the play there with fresh legs. Throws it out front for Cowley. Cowley's an excellent penalty killer. Nearly had the shorthanded goal there. Martin is the guy to watch, I guess, if you're Coventry. He's had a magnificent season thus far, Joey Martin. Lord to Martin. Down low again. And you can see Lord is not afraid to go between the hash marks and take a bit of a pounding. Doucette walks off the wall. Takes his time. He's being watched by Robinson. The 5-on-3 over. 5-on-4 for another minute 15 as Valabic is gone for cross-checking. Richardson with the shot, and Stewart again with the save. As you see, the penalty kill is ranked 9th for Coventry in the power play. A magnificent 23.8% for Cardiff.
Yeah, that's a really good power play, and we know why. They're gifted with a lot of offensive players, and you could see they had great puck movement there for long periods. And when they get in the zone, you know, their players, they have their heads up, and they make the right passes. They get into good scoring positions. It's a hard power play to control.
Hervado, good face-off win for Kirka. Kirka to Hudson. Hudson, plenty of time to go. A minute on this power play. Hudson waiting for the shot he wants. Through a screen there, but it's an excellent block as the Blaze once again showing you they're not afraid to sacrifice the body for the greater good, and that time it was Fisher. Here is Kirka. Kirka with some time and some space. Thomas Kirka lays it off. Oh, 1-0! What a shot! What a goal! Power play, Cardiff!
Well, this is what I've been saying. The Devils come at you with a lot of speed, and if you're standing still at all at the blue line, you're going to get beat. They're so quick, and they have so many weapons. I mean, let's not forget a guy like Kirka. I mean, he can score with the best of them in the league. You got Salters who can finish. Hervado, you know, had such a great year last year, and Hull, and he's repeating the same thing here in Cardiff. They're just loaded with offense. I mean, it's a hard power play to stop.
It's great patience by Kirk. Everyone thinks he's going to shoot. He lays it off to Salters, and that's the 10th of the season for the big man.
Yeah, really nice play. That's experience there, making that pass, just making the pass at the right time to giving your partner there up front time to get a good shot away, and also, I mean, he had half an inning to shoot at. I mean, Stewart's got to play the shot in that situation and then hope for the best if it comes across and try to dive over. But a great play from the Devils. Just good speed in the neutral zone created that goal.
Thomas Kirka, who played for the Devils in the 2013-14 season, he had 26 goals. Comes into this game with 9 goals and 12 assists. That's his 13th helper. And what a pass it was to Salters. The Devils with that opening goal try and take the crowd out of it. Godfrey and Jones battling in behind Stewart. Nothing Stewart could have done on that shot from Salters, indeed. And the pass from Kirka is the marvelous thing, though. The lack of selfishness is, I think everyone down there, including Stewart, thought he was going to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, Stewart, he's got to play the shot. He's got to come out and take the angle away. Otherwise, it's an easy goal. I mean, if you look here, and there's a little bit of pressure there. Stewart comes out. But again, I mean, the guy's wide open, and no one really picks him up at all on that either. So maybe a bit too much puck watching. I mean, not all 3 guys need to go towards the puck carrier there. You got to talk. You got to communicate. I'm going to take the guy wide. You take the guy in a slot. And a little bit of lack of that on that play, I thought, from the Blaze part.
Lazan swept the puck away from Martin. Clements finishes his hit. And the Blaze looking for a statement shift here now. I thought the first 3 shifts, they came hard at Cardiff, but the power play was just too much. Here's Lord. Lord tangling in the corner with Jorgensen, and Robinson will get it up the right wing, dumped right back in. Robinson has had a good start to this game out front for Fisher. And Fisher couldn't contain that one as Lord will come back the other way. And Luke Pigott will run into the corner with Jorgensen. And Jorgensen, I thought Jorgensen was marvelous en route to their playoff championship. He was immense in that final weekend, Paul 80. And as you look at Brian Stewart, he's eccentric, isn't he? He's down there in the splits during live play, limbering up. But I thought Jorgensen was one of their best players that finals weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and like you said, he had a great finals weekend, and he was one of their leaders, obviously, in the finals weekend. And whoa.
Off the bar! Oh, baby! What a shot by Noble!
That was a fantastic shot. It just obviously we heard it hit the bar there, and Bounds just did not. He reacted very late on that. It was a good hard shot that came in, and. Unfortunately for the Blaze, it didn't hit the back of the net, but what the Blaze need is a good reaction. They go down 1-0 at home. They got to come back strong with some good shifts, try to create a good scoring opportunity, try to get a goal back, and just stay in this game. I mean, there's a lot of minutes left.
Kevin Noble stepped into that. He's got 4 assists. He's looking for his first goal, and he won't come much closer than that. It was flush off the crossbar behind Bounds. Noble dishes it off. Not much Venus could have done there. He had Richardson and Hervado taking away the passing lane, but Venus sticks with it, collects that, and dumps it in for Tate. Tate, a hit on Richardson, but Richardson kept his feet moving to Morissette. Morissette dumps it hard in, looking for the goal scorer, Salters. Salters, one hand on the stick, couldn't do much there. Hendricks ahead for Morissette. And this is fast-paced action, Paul 80. And a lot of stuff happened in the neutral zone, which is quite interesting because you rarely see players make those moves in the neutral zone on both sequences, both teams.
Yeah, I mean, the important thing in the neutral zone is keep your feet moving, because if you're standing still against teams with speed, you get beat. And both these teams have speed. And so defensively, they always say little circles, keep those feet moving.
But we saw Morissette there with a containment in the neutral zone, and then Venus, and it was all within the blink of an eye. Usually it's one team controlling the neutral zone, so there's a lot of speed on show right here, which could definitely factor into the later stages of the game with both teams missing some key components. And I guess I talked to you about this earlier. Do you think with the 3 games in 3 nights for the Devils and missing 2 defensemen that eat up a lot of minutes for Andrew Lord, will there be a fatigue factor for the Devils tonight?
Well, I mean, that was last weekend, the 3 games. But you're right, it's tough to play 3 games in 3 days. And being short, I think if anyone who might get tired is their defense, being shorthanded tonight. I don't think their forwards, they've had 4 days now without a game. So you'll recuperate. I'm sure Coach Lord gave them enough time to recuperate from their travels. And and they'll be fine. But on defense, I think the key thing is when you're shorthanded, is to move the puck quick. Don't give a team a chance to hit you. It's really important to save your energy. Don't be rushing up the ice, and when you're shorthanded on D, and save your energy.
Hudson jumps into the neutral zone again. You see that sort of back and forth between the blue lines. Lazan in for Tanaka. Martin picks it up to Kirka, who had that magnificent assist on the Salters power play goal. Haddad dumps it in. Funny bounce, and Stewart seemed to track that late. Batch keeps it in. Martin tangled up with Godfrey. Godfrey gets it up the half wall to Tanaka. Tanaka to Lazan. Lazan just lifts it lazily in there for Hudson, a set play, looking for the speed of Tanaka, and he nearly hooked up. But here's Boris Valabik. Valabik in front! That's off a skate, and it'll be Valabik's goal. 1-1.
Well, a good job from Valabik. He kept the puck in, skated down, and just took a shot to the net. He looked, he saw some guys in front and went off Batch's skate there. He didn't even see it. He was looking the other way, covering someone in front of the net. Just bad luck for Batch there, and bad luck for the goalie also, and for the Devils. But that's what happens when you get the puck to the net, and Valabik just takes the shot. He sees a couple of blue shirts, gets it to the net, goes off the D-man in. Hard luck there, but good things happen, as we've heard before many times on this telecast, when you get the puck to the net. And here it is, 1-1 now.
Valabik's first of the season, and what a time to get it with 2:30 to go, opening stanza. 1-1 between the Blaze and the Devils. It's first versus 10th, but you wouldn't know it by the way these teams have come into this game. It's almost got a playoff atmosphere. And of course, the raising of Adam Calder's number 25 and the atmosphere around the fans. And as Doucette, quick shot, good kick save by the big man, Brian Stewart. Culligan playing the point to Richardson. Richardson walks in, dances around his man. Richardson showing some great hands right there. Danced out front, and it was swept away by Valabik.
Well, Richardson is so good on the cycle. If he gets a chance, he'll take that puck to the net. He'll make some plays. I think we got a penalty call coming up here from Hicks. I'm not quite sure what call he's made there. It's against the Blaze. He's discussing something with one of the Blaze players there about the penalty, but let's see what he calls. Now he's got another cross-check, and those cross-checking and slashing penalties, they're bad penalties to take. They cost you games, and you really got to keep that stick on the ice. And if we could see a replay, we could maybe, I don't know if we have that, but it'd be interesting to see it. But another big opportunity for a great power play, the Cardiff Devils.
Look at Stewart again. It's amazing how he just constantly stretching throughout the game. Another power play for Cardiff. Well, they've got one on the power play already through Salters, and Fisher is in there in the sin bin again.
Well, yeah, he could be going down because he's got his groins bothering a bit or something. It's rare that they go down so much, so it could be a little injury problem there for him. Or maybe it's just something he's always done his whole career. I haven't seen him play. I think it's the first time I've seen him play this year, so I'll have to keep an eye on that in the future.
Hudson out of the corner, taking his time to Salters. The lone marksman for Cardiff in this one. Just going to dump it in high in behind Stewart. And Stewart will hold on now. 1:31 to go in this opening period. It was a shot from the point by Valabik that went off of Josh Batch, and if that goal stands, unless they make a change, it was definitely Valabik's shot. His first of the season, and for Salters, it was his 10th on the power play. Now here's Valabik walking in. He's got Kirka there as a bit of a screen as well.
Well, he's got his head up there, and he looks, he sees two blue sweaters in front, and it goes off of Batch into the net. So, yeah, it's definitely his goal.
Here's Doucette. Doucette to Morissette. Doucette shoots, and he's got 18 goals this season. He's a dangerous customer indeed, is Guillaume Doucette. And right there, the puck stays out. Luckily, if you're a Blaze fan, here is Richardson. Richardson down the half wall. Cardiff, they know the time is running down. The clock is on their side. They don't need to do anything silly here, as they know if they don't get one, they'll have a carryover of about 10 seconds to the second period. But right now, what's the old adage? You never want to give up a goal in the first minute of the period or the last minute of the period. So if you're Cardiff, you'd like to tighten the screws a little bit against the Blaze.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity for Cardiff to get one here at the end, and but Coventry on the other side don't want to give them one, like you said, don't want to give one up, and it's important for them to get out of this period at 1-1 and you know, take a little bit of confidence into the dressing room.
Nice face-off win by Lord. They want to get the puck to Doucette, it looks like. He's setting up off on the flank there, and if he gets a one-timer, the puck will be off his stick in the blink of an eye. 20 seconds to go in the period. 30 seconds to go in the power play. Here's Richardson. Richardson had that bobble away from him, even tried to use his foot, but he'll retreat into his own zone and get it back up the wall to Doucette. Doucette with a giveaway. And luckily, as Robinson charged forward, Richardson was there to bail out Doucette. 3 seconds to go. And the buzzer will sound, and after 20 minutes, Coventry and Cardiff are tied 1-1 on Adam Calder night. Valabic's first, Salters his 10th. It was on the power play from Thomas Kirka. And I have to say, a fast period, back and forth. I mean, maybe it wasn't as tidy as I would have thought, knowing both coaches, but certainly the start Cardiff wanted. They got their power play clicking, and a good answer back by Valabic. He just got the puck on net, and as you said, good things happen.
Yeah, I mean, a big goal for the Blaze too. They needed that, and after going down 1-0 here at home, you could see the fans got a little bit quiet, so that goal is going to help their momentum going into the second period. But a good period of hockey, up and down. I mean, I enjoy those kind of games. A lot of skating, a lot of speed. Maybe that kind of game favors Cardiff a little bit because they have that open ice speed, especially coming through the neutral zone. I mean, they're loaded with skilled guys. So I don't know if Coventry wants to go up and down for 60 minutes here, but they've got some pretty skilled players too. But overall, I think the Devils, skill-wise, have a little bit more in their on their bench, and so it's important for Coventry also to continue to play a good defensive game.
The Devils and Blaze do it all again tomorrow, this time in Cardiff. And you know what, I'm impressed by the Dundee Stars as well. We mentioned their win last night. They lead the EIHL in goal scoring. They've got over 90 goals.
Yeah, another team loaded with offense. But, you know, if you ask me who I thought Coach of the Year was at this point, I would give it to Coach Lefebvre, because I think he's really turned the Stars around this year, and he's doing a fantastic job there. He's put a good team together, a team that's entertaining, can score goals, and also get the job done defensively. So, I mean, it's nice to see him having some success there, and seeing his team really reacting well and playing good hockey.
A short 11-second power play for Cardiff with the fresh ice here. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good shout on Lefebvre, but also if you had said to people coming into the season who would lead the EIHL for goals for in going into the Christmas season, I don't know if many people would have said Dundee. So they've played really well, and you saw it last night with a 5-2 win over the Panthers. Second period underway. Just a few seconds to go on that carryover power play. And they've got a power play goal, do the Devils. It was Salters, his 10th from Kirka and Haddad. For Coventry, if you're just tuning in, Boris Valabic, his first from Tanaka and Trim. 1-1 after 20. And it's a face-off to the right of Ben Bounds. Both Stewart and Bounds have had decent starts to this game. And the power play is over. Fisher is back out there on the ice. So 5-on-5 hockey at the Skydome. Martin chasing down Godfrey. Godfrey does a good job to advance that to Cowley. Cowley is going to have to keep his head up there. Although, you know what, Russ Cowley, you hear him there. He's known Adam Calder a long time, and you have to give Russ Cowley credit. He's had a lot of longevity in this game and has been a great warrior for GB as well.
No, he's played a lot of games in this league, and for GB, he's a very consistent player. I don't remember watching him play a bad game. I mean, game in, game out, he gets the job done for the Blaze.
We also talk about Culligan playing the point tonight for Cardiff in a time of need. Well, Russ Cowley's a guy who can play forward and defense, and that's not easy at this level of hockey.
No, it isn't, and such a valuable player. When you have a guy that can do that, it's really, really helpful for the coach, because when you have your injuries, those are the guys that still help you win games.
Tanaka to Valabic. Back to Jorgensen. Tanaka in front, and you know what? Kale Tanaka is only 5'9", but sometimes you forget that because he plays a lot bigger, doesn't he?
He does. He's always getting into the dirty areas. He's not afraid to go to the net and into the corners and battle it out. And sometimes he winds the opposition up with his play, being the fact that he's not so big and he's willing to do that.
Trim dumps it in. Hudson. First man back, Haddad, who had a helper on that lone goal for Cardiff in the opening 20. Playing a good game. Here's Trim. Trim and Lazan. And Trim fanned on that pass, and Haddad turns it back up ice. And much like the first period, a little run and gun stuff at the Sky Dome as both teams want to go at each other. Kirka in all alone. Tanaka. Tanaka's going to draw a penalty as Haddad filled him in. And Tanaka goading Haddad right there, but Haddad filled Tanaka in there long after the puck was gone.
Yeah, he finished his hit, and Tanaka felt that he got his skates underneath him and flipped them there. But yeah, if we see a replay on that, maybe get a bit of better look at it. But for me, it looked like he just finished his check. But in the game today, you have to be careful when you finish your checks. If you leave it too late, you get called there, and you can see, well, the puck's away.
Interference call.
Interference, yeah. I mean, you're absolutely right. And you could see, although he was just kind of finishing off his play, it's too late. And also flipping the guy makes it easy for the referee to make the call.
Haddad will sit for 2 or less, and Tanaka go to them a little bit. That you just talked about how Tanaka sometimes gets under the skin of opposition. Right there, he certainly infuriated Haddad after that play, so we'll keep an eye on that. Good play by Robinson, and then he goes to the front of the net. Here's Tate. Ashley Tate out there working the point with Petrus. Tate keeps it alive. Good active stick by Tate, but Petrus will have to retreat. Good stretch pass for Ashley Tate. Tate turned back right away by Batch. Quick stick by Batch, who's actually pretty quick for a big man. Here's Tate again. Tate just dumps it in. He's looking for Drew Fisher. Fisher hits his man hard, and Robinson keeps it alive for Jorgensen. Jorgensen walks the line. Jorgensen looking for a shooting lane. Couldn't find one. It was a good play by Jones to keep him in check, and then Jorgensen blew a tire, but kept it alive for Petrus. Tate's off to the flank. He wants it, and he gets it. Back to the line. Petrus shooting through a screen as Jorgensen had jumped in front there. He's a defenseman, and he's playing in between the hash marks as all hands on deck right there. This is a good-looking power play by the Blaze, but I guess if you're the Devils, you'll be happy that it's on the perimeter right now, Paul Adey.
Exactly. You're trying to keep the shots to the outside. I mean, good hustle from the Blaze getting to the net there to try to pick up a rebound, but a good job from Bounds controlling the puck. And, Cardiff are looking to just take away the middle of the ice, collapse down low, and maybe give up the point shot, try to block the point shot, but not give anything in the slot area. And close, you can see here, guy goes out to block the shot. Just a deflection miss there. That could have made it tougher for Bounds, but a good job from the Cardiff players, not allowing them to get to the net there, not giving up that second opportunity.
Drew Fisher is 6'3", so he's got a long reach trying to tip that down underneath Bounds. And certainly when you've got a big guy in front like that, it makes it very, very difficult. With Tulsa in the East Coast Hockey League last year, Fisher had 18 goals. Lord leading by example, the player coach trying to kill off this power play. Killing valuable seconds, he'll just dump it all the way back down into his own zone and kill. Haddad is out there, and interesting, he was calling the Lord the whole way as they now turn this penalty kill into some offensive pressure. Haddad stripped by Godfrey, though. That's an excellent play by Godfrey. Trim, Neil Trim, previous 2 years with the Braehead Clan. He had 28 goals last year for the Braehead Clan, did Neil Trim. And now Cardiff on the counterattack. And Kirka is going to draw a penalty. Kirka is going to draw a penalty. It looked like it was Neil Trim. And it's a hooking call against Trim. And it will be another power play now as Mike Hicks has sent Neil Trim to the box.
Well, I think Hicksy made that call because I think it was Kirka was coming across the slot area trying to get a shot away, and there was a little hook in there, so he made the call because it was a scoring chance, I believe. And it's not always a great penalty to take, but sometimes you got to give that little hook if a guy's ready to take a good shot to the net in the slot area. So maybe a good penalty to take in that situation.
So, fourth opportunity on the power play for Cardiff. They have a power play goal thus far. Haddad's in front. Salters is the power play scorer thus far, and he's off on the flank there. Now he's battling with Jim Jorgensen. Jorgensen dispossessed by Haddad. Hervado played last year in Hull and had 14 goals. Here's Salters. Salters back to the line. And Salters always tries to slow the game down to his own pace. He's impressive to watch in time and space indeed. Here's Hervado. Hervado back to the line. Quick shot, that's tipped in front! Salters! Good golly, Miss Molly. Great work on the power play by the Devils.
Well, good traffic in front there from Salters and Haddad, making it really difficult for Stewart. As you see when the shot comes in, I mean, good puck movement from the Devils, playing it wide when they had to, getting puck possession. You see the shot come in here. Stewart's got two big bodies in front of him, and as the shot is made, I think it's Haddad behind comes through, or is that that's Salters,
yeah.
Just at the right time screens Stewart and doesn't give him a lot of opportunity to stop this puck, and it's a great screen from both Haddad and Salters. A great tip there from Salters to finish the play off. So really a nice goal there from the Devils again on their power play.
It's a good play by Kirk, who had the assist on the opening goal. We won't see it there, but Kirka with 2 assists. Salters with 2 goals. Here's Valabic. Valabic looking for his second. Rips it through the crease there. It's 2-1 Cardiff. 2 power play goals for the Devils. And we heard Chuck Weber say they had to stay out of the box, Paul. They get burned right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's important against the Devils to stay out of the box. That they got such a potent power play, and they move the puck around well, and they get to the front of the net. They have both skill and size on their power play, so it's really tough to defend against that. And they're willing to move the puck quick, so that makes it even harder. And then they got their finishers. They got a good nucleus of at least 6 guys who can bury that puck on the power play. So it's a tough team to play against, especially if you're going to give up power plays.
Interesting, we talk about forwards playing D there, but there's Kirka, the former NHLer, former pick, 32nd overall by the Carolina Hurricanes. He's a forward, we know that, and he's playing the point on the power play there and reads and reacts perfectly with Salters and Haddad both going to the front of the net.
Well, it really helps if you have a forward who can play defense in the power play. It just gives you a little bit extra weapon at the back there, a guy who can maybe jump in on the cycle a little bit more because of his used to playing forward. So he's a dangerous weapon, and plus he's such a great passer of the puck. He's the perfect guy to have back on the point.
Kirka, 17 NHL games played in his career, 3 NHL goals. And he's got 9 goals and 14 assists this season. Cannell with the shot. That's blocked and up and out of play. So Salters, 2 goals, his 10th and 11th, both on the power play. The second one from Kirka and Hudson. And you know what? I will assure you, Andrew Lord is ecstatic that the power play is clicking like that on the road.
Yeah, I mean, it really helps you win games when you can take advantage of those power plays. And credit to the Devils, because they come at you with a lot of speed to start with. They make it tough on you in the neutral zone, and they move the puck so well in the offensive zone that it's tough to force them, because they do play wide against you when they have to, and they move the puck across the ice to take the pressure away. And then they're able to get the puck up quick for some good shots from the point. Noble
with the quick shot there. He had Petrus in front. It was a good stop by Bounds as Salters tries to slow it down once again for Richardson. Here's Morissette. Morissette can't get it out. He'll get another opportunity, and the Devils will indeed get out. Here's Salters. Salters into double coverage. Richardson was jumping in front, and now Salters looking for the hat trick. Barrels out front, and Godfrey got in his way. It looks like the net is off, Paul.
Well, I think they're complaining a little bit about Salters going to the crease area there, and I think he maybe bumped into Stewart a little bit, and you can see here as Salters comes out. I mean, he does have the puck. He does get knocked into the goalie a little bit there too. I don't think there's not much in that play. I can see why Hicksey didn't make any call there. I mean, that would have been a bit of a weak penalty call to make, and he made the right judgment by just, taking the face-off outside of the zone. Although I don't know how much Salters caused the net to come off, because I thought he was bumped into the goalie, but still,
he went shoulder to shoulder with Noble there.
He did, but he still was in the paint originally, so I think that's why Hicksey sent the face-off outside of the zone.
Cowley wins that draw clean for Coventry. Good face-off win. Jorgensen ahead for Cowley, trying to reward him for the good job on the draw. Here is Cowley. Cowley around Doucette. Back to Jorgensen. Jorgensen in front, and that was Tate going to the net. And Ashley Tate showing you why he's been in 500 games for this Coventry Blaze outfit. There's the puck possession. A little bit ahead there are the Devils, but certainly Coventry have had their moments. Here's Martin. Martin walks out front. Doucette was knocked down by Jorgensen. The Devils fans who have traveled here, the Red Army, wanted a call. None was coming. Richardson out front for Doucette. Doucette has his stick lifted by Cowley, and Cowley with a good defensive play.
Yeah, really good defensive play from Cowley there, because otherwise that puck comes out. It's a real good scoring opportunity for the Devils, and I thought the Coventry did a good job in their defensive zone there, although they get called on an icing, but still they covered the right areas of the ice. Everybody had their men, and they didn't give up an easy scoring chance in the slot area, which is, your main priority is don't give anything easy in the slot.
Important face-off to the right of Stewart now. It will be charged to Ross Venus. Venus versus Jones. 2-1 Cardiff. 2 power play goals. And Coventry, Valabik his first. 12:18 to go. Middle frame. Batch leans into that. Deflected up and into the netting. It was a good play again by Cowley, showing you what a good defensive forward he is right there.
Yeah, good block shot from him. I mean, the only thing he could do is try to block that shot, because the Devils won the face-off pretty clean, and they got it up D to D, and the shot came in. So, it's you just got to get in the shooting lane in that situation and hope for the best. This is the scoring chance before there where Tate gets a good deflection there, but bounds. An easy save for him. The puck just didn't get up in the air enough to trouble him.
Tanaka to Lazan. Lazan backhands it in. Here's Batch. Batch, who made his Team GB senior debut last year. You and I enjoyed calling those games on Premier Sports when Pete Russell's side won silver. Just shy of the goal. We'll have those games for you again as GB look for gold this time in promotion, Paul 80. It will be a whale of a tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they're always exciting, those tournaments to watch, but also to play in. And I'm sure, I don't think it's in the guys' minds right yet, because they got a lot of games ahead of them here till the end of the season. But once the season ends, I know the guys get pretty excited to represent their country.
Check premiersports.tv for news on the GB World Championship fixtures. And we should also say EIHL on Ice continues Thursdays on Premier Sports, your weekly EIHL roundup show. And a really exciting one. I know Paul 80 is excited about it. We'll touch on that in a second as Noble has a chance, then Godfrey. And Godfrey leaned into that one as Coventry looking for that equalizer. Good pressure from this line. Cardiff back on the counter-attack. Hervado could not keep it in. Morissette had that go off his shin pad. Noble will just lift it up into the neutral zone for Culligan, and Culligan's looked okay back there playing the point, Paul, as Fisher dances in. Fisher fans on that, and Morissette starts it out. Morissette and Piggott. Piggott hard into the zone, in on Godfrey, but Fisher will clear it out. He's looking for Tate. No icing. Richardson back up the left wing looking for Martin, but it will be Noble. Noble takes a bump from Martin. Martin takes away that 50-50 puck. Lord is at the blue line. He'll have to stay on side, and Stewart will just hold on to that. I want to go back to that point. Something that we're both excited about is the Road to the Winter Classic documentaries. It's always neat to see behind the scenes of the NHL teams. And of course, January 1st, Premier Sports will have the Bruins and Canadians live on New Year's Day. But starting December 17th, this Thursday coming up, 9 p.m., the first episode of the Road to the Winter Classic behind the scenes, all access documentaries will be on premiere. So tune in on Thursday for EIHL on ice and the road to the Winter Classic. Hudson blows a tire. Walking out front is Lord. Lord knocked down by Jorgensen, and Cowley is away. Cowley has to turn back to Valabik. Valabik, 80 NHL games in his career. To Tate. Tate leaves on that good blocker save by Ben Bounds. Valabik keeps it in, and again, just puts it on net, leads to a scoring opportunity, and the Blaze do everything there but tie it up. Another shot comes in, and that's just whistled wide. Venus keeps it in. Jorgensen had a heavy shot go through the crease. The crowd back into this one as the Blaze show some offensive life. Cowley in behind the net. Valabik. Valabik showing some great hands for a big man. Venus now. Venus will lean into that. Blocked. And that was a good block. I tell you what, both teams have in mind dropping down in front of shots, Paul, 80, and that's good signs for both coaches.
Well, it's a sign that both teams want to win this game and how important this game is. And saying that, though, Valabik has showed how you beat that by just taking a step to the side and getting a wrist shot in. And every time he's done that, he's created a scoring chance for his team.
There's Lazan. Lazan leaves it for Trim. Trim fakes, shoots just high. Trim sticks with it. Trim and Lazan trying to get it going. Quick shot, glove save on Clements by Ben Bounds.
Well, the Blazers are having a real good period in this period because, they're starting to create some chances, starting to put the Devils under pressure in their end of the ice, which is they need to do more if they're going to get some goals in here. And you can see, they're shooting the puck at the net every chance they get and fighting hard for the puck. And again, here you can see just that wrist shot in sometimes can cause problems, but Bounds, he had ample time to make the save there.
Valabik was the 10th overall pick in 2004 by Atlanta, and when you're a first round pick, that's impressive stuff. I know everyone looks at his size, 6'7", and that's the first thing they see, but Valabik also played NHL hockey, 80 games to be precise, 210 NHL penalty minutes, and I'll never forget, if you haven't seen it, go to YouTube. Valabik, 6'7", fighting 6'9" Zdeno Chara.
That's a heavyweight battle, that's for sure.
The two oak trees going at it, the combined reach of about 40 feet. Tanaka couldn't get that out and nearly cost him. You see right there, Stewart slow to get up, but I think he was more disappointed that the Blaze didn't get the puck out on the first attempt. Tanaka, stick checked by Kirka, but Tanaka keeps on going. Tanaka takes the puck for a walk. Keeps it alive for Trim. Here's Godfrey. Godfrey, quick shot. And Bounds saw that the whole way. No icing.
Well, the Blazers are doing a good job from the point, just getting wrist shots in and then trying to create rebounds and deflections and making it tough on Bounds and making it tough on the Devils, not allowing them to block as many shots as they did in the first period.
Noble with the flutterer of a backhand. That'll just be gloved by Bounds. This was the earlier blocker save on Godfrey.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when the goalie, you can see the shot coming in, it's better to shoot it on his pads, because when you get it up in the air, you can either glove it or deflect it with his blocker to the corner. And so when there's no goalie in front, you just try to shoot at his pads to create a rebound, and I think it's tougher on the goalie if you do that. So in a situation where you just fire it at Bounds' glove or blocker, he's going to clear that very easily.
Culligan to the hash mark, no further. It was a good read and react by Robinson. Kept in by Fisher. Fisher to Petrus, back to the line. There's Robinson. Brett Robinson, the 6'1" Canadian. He's got 6 goals this season. Here's Noble. Noble to Fisher. Again, everything to the outside. It looks again like a power play, but it is indeed 5-on-5 hockey. Fisher, nice move. Good save by Bounds, and now the rebound is there for his teammate Robinson, and again, the puck stays out. Here's Noble. Noble, heavy shot. And again, Bounds tracking and fighting that puck off as the Blaze have plenty of life with 6:19 to go, second stanza. They trail 2-1, but nearly tied it up there.
Yeah, the Blazers have done a great job in the last 5 minutes or so, just, putting the Devils under pressure in their end, and especially up top. The Blaze defense are really moving the puck well, just D to D and taking their time and then stepping to the side and getting shots. And I mean, they had a couple of good blasts in there, and Bounds did a good job. But you can see, like, look at the two defensemen wide open up top. Guys are tired for the Devils. You can see they're standing still a little bit. I mean, they are collapsing to protect the front of the net, but they are giving up those point shots. And if Coventry keep getting traffic in front, eventually they'll hit the back of the net. You know, one of those Bounds won't see, and it'll hit the back of the net. So a good job from the Blaze, good puck movement from the Blaze, especially from the defenseman. Some very smart plays there.
Robinson, impressive in this game. He and Martin in the face-off dot. Martin tries to tie Robinson up. Here's Lord. Lord being watched by Godfrey. Doucette tries to dance away from Noble. Now he's got Godfrey all over him like a dirty shirt. The Blaze will come away. Fisher, who has had a magnificent second period, and Petrus is offside over on the right side.
Yeah, it looks like, as they say, he blew a tire there at the blue line. He couldn't stop himself. I think he was full. I thought he was going to get the puck, and then he just tried to stop there at the last second. And sometimes, you know, the ice gets a little beat up there near, it's like, you know, latter parts of the periods. And but again, you know, overall, the Blaze, I feel, have the momentum here in the second, and they're doing a good job moving the puck around. And I think the Devils are going to have to push back here at some point.
You see some of the Red Army faithful. The Devils always have contingent with them on the road, and hats off to all traveling support. But I tell you what, the Red Army always come out in numbers and follow their Devils around.
Well, I mean, the Devils have always had support over the years. I mean, thinking back even to, you know, the early 90s, their rink was always full, and it hasn't changed. They always have supporters who travel with the team. Great fan base in Cardiff, and you know, long may it continue, because the Cardiff Devils have a, you know, good history in the league, and they've won their share of trophies also. Well,
tell me this, Paul, a lot's being made of they have a team put together to win on that small ice surface at the Big Blue tent. They're going to move to Ice Arena Wales sometime in the new year, hopefully sooner rather than later. When they move to that Olympic-size ice, do you see the home ice advantage evaporating a little bit for the Devils? No, because I think they're one of the quickest teams in the league, and I think speed on a big ice it makes it even tougher for the opposition. So I think you know, Todd Kelman and Andrew Lord have considered that, and they've made sure that they have enough speed in their lineup for a bigger ice surface. That's a good point, and I tell you what, it's always been tough for teams to go into that Big Blue tent, and I'm sure they're going to want to make it very difficult to go into Ice Arena Wales. Here's Cowley. Cowley with good hustle, trying to break up the... And you know what? Cowley has a point there. I think he was going to win that... he was going to negate the icing there, and the linesman, Matt Rose, has said it's an icing, but I think Cowley was going to get there first. I think he's got a bit of a point.
Yeah, I think the linesmen are just trying to be safe and trying to avoid that late contact where guys get hurt a lot. And yeah, I can see the frustration there. On the other side, you gotta consider what the linesman is thinking also. Better safe than sorry. So sometimes you gotta bite the bullet on these and realize that it's for the player's safety at the end of the day.
Cowley having a word with Mike Hicks. They will move on. Cowley wins that draw. And I guess that's how you do it. If you're disappointed with a call, try and go out and do something positive. We should also mention, coming up December 27th, the Panthers hosting the Steelers, the Christmas Classic. Yeah, I think Cowley's got a point there, but nevertheless, and you get, well, the frustration there. You never see Russ Cowley rarely lose his temper, so he's got to believe that he was there first.
Yeah, a little complaining going on right now, and you're right. Cowley probably was going to get to that puck first, and I think Weber right now is having a little word in Hicks's ear, saying, you know, what's going on here. But like I said, it's more about the player's safety than anything on those calls. And sometimes, also, did the Cardiff defenseman slow down on the play also because he thought we're going to get the call here, and he didn't go as hard as he would have? Maybe that's the case also. So I wouldn't be too critical on that play. Like I said, it's more for the player's benefit than anything else.
5 minutes, 2 seconds to go. Second stanza. Cardiff 2, Coventry 1. Salters with 2 goals. Valabic with the answer back for Coventry thus far. Talk about that Steelers visiting the Panthers on December 27th. It wouldn't be a Christmas break without those two teams butting heads, would it? We're looking forward to that one, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a great game, and both two great teams this season fighting for the league championship, so be very, very exciting. And you know, it's going to be full. The Panthers fans are going to fill that rink with also the Steelers fans, so big crowd, and it'll be a great game.
Morissette with a nice little tip in front there, and Morissette actually won the puck away. Impressive stuff by both Hervado and Morissette. Neither a big guy, but both really strong on the puck.
Yeah, two really good hockey players. I mean, they get the job done on the penalty kill or on the power play, 5-on-5. Very, very smart players. That's what I like the most about those two players is, you know, how they see the game. But you're absolutely right. I mean, just a couple more weapons for the Devils up front.
Yeah. Even without Marsh and Haddad, and you know what, they really miss Brent Walton, but they're still up there, top of the table, and Culligan's playing back on the point tonight, so just excellent hockey by the Cardiff Devils. And now Salters. Salters has two. He's looking for the hat trick. He tries to come back against the grain with Tanaka there, and the puck underneath a bunch of bodies there. It was Noble, but Stewart actually put the net back on the stanchion there.
Well, I think he did. Maybe he thought he might get a penalty if he didn't put it back. I mean, he didn't intentionally knock the post off its moorings, but yeah, he showed a lot of composure there because the puck's lying underneath his teammate. He just went over, pulls the post in, and then comes back and you know, keeps an eye on the puck, and the puck is you know, moved on. But yeah, he showed a lot of composure on that.
Just when you think you've seen it all from Brian Stewart, he is of course the EIHL's Player of the Week, rounding into form. Big 6'5" presence in there, and right there does a little housekeeping, puts the net back on, and play goes the other way. Lazan rips that. Bounds had the angle, turns it away. Talk about how big Stewart is. Bounds is a big goalie as well at 6'2", and two of them came in here with a .907 save percentage, so it's been fun to watch both of them in this contest.
Yeah, two excellent goalies, two of the top goalies in the league, and they're not easy to score against, and because of their size, but not just their size. I mean, they do take away the angle and use their size to their advantage, and they're both quick for big guys. I mean, they're not slow goalies at all, and they can move laterally pretty quick, and they read the game very well. I mean, even I think, you know, that's just accidental. He's trying to move back as the guy's looking for a wraparound, and he puts it back in to avoid getting a penalty just in case the referee. And yeah, I mean, it shows a lot of composure there in his net. Very relaxed about that.
He's got a little part-time job as one of the ice keepers here at the Sky Dome. Incredible stuff. He's eccentric. I know he likes to stretch after every play. I know he likes to keep moving. When the puck is in the other end, right there, he puts the net back on. And like I said, just when you thought you've seen everything from Brian Stewart, he gives you something to shake your head at and marvel at. Here's Petrus. Petrus takes a bump from Haddad. Fisher kept it in momentarily. The Devils, with Jones, they get it back to the neutral zone. Late stages, second period. A one-goal lead for Cardiff. They come into this game top of the table on 31 points. 14 wins, 6 losses, 3 overtime losses. Coventry, 17 games played, 15 points. They're in last, but they've got 6 games in hand against Cardiff atop of that table. They need a win tonight. They play again tomorrow, but they play at the Big Blue Tent. Here's Fisher. Fisher, who has been, I think, one of the best players on either side of the puck so far in this contest. Godfrey will dump it in behind Bounds. Tate, the captain, to Brett Robinson. Robinson muscling his way through against Hervado. Robinson putting on a clinic. Hervado answers right back, though, keeps his feet moving. Bounds wasn't sure where the puck is. Now it's underneath him as Ashley Tate is right there on the top of the blue paint trying to stuff that one home.
Yeah, I mean, the Blaze have been working really hard here, trying to get that second goal, trying to tie the game up. Their forwards have been really working hard down low and on the forecheck, and I mean, it just rolls a little bit on Tate there when he's trying to get that backhand away. So a little opportunity missed, but he just couldn't get the roll on that one. But overall, the Blaze have had, you know, in the second half of this period, have had the momentum and have created more of the good scoring opportunities and are making it really tough on Cardiff to get out of their end of the ice.
Face off to the left of Bounds. There's Culligan. Culligan will get a second opportunity. Hudson to Morissette. Noble filled in by Hervado. There's another example of Hervado just never giving up. He's only 5'8", but he seems to go into battles like a freight train.
Well, you know, you don't have to be that big to be strong along the walls. I mean, you rely on your quickness on quick turns and make it tough on those big defensemen to control you. And you look to try to set yourself up so a guy's got to come at you a little bit straighter, and then it gives you two options to move both ways. And so some of these forwards are pretty clever along the wall. Some of these smaller guys, they know how to use their size to their advantage. And you know, when you're low to the ice, sometimes the bigger guys can't get down there and cut you off in time. So size isn't always the key factor in the one-on-one battles.
Doucette won that draw from Cowley. They had a good battle, and now Doucette will try and set up in a scoring position. Martin to Batch. Godfrey breaks the play up, gives the puck to Lazan. Lazan gains the line, wants to throw it through there for Godfrey. Tate golfs at that. Lord has the puck dance through his skates, and we have 35 seconds to go in the second period. Here's Jorgensen. Jorgensen over the line. Jorgensen on a good rush, good wrist shot, but Bounds will hold on there as he's seen enough with 24 seconds to go.
Well, the Devils are backing off a little bit here in the second period. I think it's allowing Coventry to create more offensive zone time, more pressure, and which is you know, allowing them to get some good momentum here and create some good scoring opportunities. So. Yeah, I know they have a 2-1 lead, but it's still a bit early in the game to be sitting right back on your blue line.
Hervado does another good job there, but Trim jumps through on the set piece and nearly caught Hudson sleeping. Interesting point, Paul. I can see Trevor Hendricks down on the bench for Cardiff, but we haven't seen the rugged D-man that much in this second period.
Well, you could be right. Could be carrying a little injury there, and you can see the Devils. You know, I wouldn't say they look tired, but they didn't look as sharp this period as the first period.
Cannell with the heavy shot. Richardson tries to body out on Petrus. Petrus to Trim. Trim walks off the wall. Back to Cannell. Heavy shot, and again Bounds has the measure. Jorgensen keeps it alive. This is excellent pressure from Coventry. Unfortunately, the buzzer will go. 40 minutes are in the books, and Cardiff lead after 2-1. Full credit to Bounds. In the dying moments, he had to be quick.
Yeah, he's had to make some good saves, and like you said, in the dying moments. And credit to Coventry, because they've been coming after Cardiff a lot in the second half of the second period, trying to create a lot of good scoring opportunities. And a bit of the struggle, you know, as we know, for the Blaze has been finishing those plays off. They're creating some opportunities, getting pucks to the net, but they're not able to finish those chances off at the moment.
Impressed with Drew Fisher. Also, I think Neil Trim, who was excellent last year and the year before for Bray, had shown some really good signs of life. I know Trim may be a little bit disappointed thus far with just 4 goals, but he had some good moments in that second frame.
Yeah, he's had some good moments, and like, you know, we talk about goal scoring, a lot of it is confidence. You know, you got to get that one goal to get that confidence, get that good feel going, and then all of a sudden you can go 4 or 5 games and score a goal every game. So that, you know, for goal scorers, that's usually the case. It's just a confidence thing, and I think you can see a few of the Coventry forwards are lacking that at the moment, but that will come over time. You just got to keep working hard.
Impressed with Russ Cowley as well. I mean, excellent on the face-offs. He's really skating well, and you know what? It's important for Chuck Weber to have everyone going, and so far so good. But right now we've got Andrew Lord live rinkside. Thanks for taking the time to join us, Coach, and you must be happy at least with the power play through 2 periods.
Yeah, not bad. We got some good puck possession there. We got you know, a lot of high-end skill guys who can make plays. You know, we got to get some more pucks in the net with a little better traffic with guys off to the side, because we know Stewart loves to come out, and you know, he's a very confident goalie at the moment.
Do you think in the second half of the period you were sitting back a little bit too much because the Blaze came at you really hard and created a few more chances?
Yeah. One of our guys broke a skate blade there on D, so we were down to 3D and a forward. Trying to conserve a little bit of energy, but at the same time, you know, our forwards got to do a little better job sinking to the house, helping out, winning some more battles along both blues, especially when we're kind of, you know, maybe a little bit decimated on the back end.
So no Hotham, no Marsh. Was it Hendricks with the equipment issue?
Hudson.
Hudson, okay, because we didn't see Hendricks for a little bit there at the end of the period, so we were just wondering. I knew he was on the bench.
Yeah, no, he's fine. Yeah, all good. Everyone's okay. We'll be back to 5 for the third.
I mean, do you think you're a little bit tired, or is it just the fact that the guy had the broken skate issue there, or do you think maybe because you played 3 and 3 nights on the weekend there, do you think there's a little bit of lack of energy? Plus, you're short staffed. Do you think the guys are maybe a little bit tired?
You know what? I honestly think a little bit better puck management. There's a lot of plays when we have time, we're not making plays, and when we don't have time, we're not making the right decision. And when you're doing that, it's you kind of start chasing the game a little bit, maybe overthinking the game a little bit. And we're a pretty high possession or puck possession team, and we like to get it below the tops of the circles. And we got to get back to that for the third.
Well, all the best. Good luck in the third, and thanks for taking the time to join us here on Premier Sports.
Thanks, guys.
We'll be back. Second intermission analysis. We'll also talk with the man of the evening, Adam Calder, Aaron Murphy, Paul 80. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Skydome in Coventry. After 40 minutes of play, it is Cardiff 2, Coventry 1. Let's have a look at the stats now. 2 for 4 on the power play. Certainly something Cardiff will be happy about, Paul 80.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, they have a great power play, and that's batting 50%, so you'd be very happy with that. 2 out of 4 so far in the game.
And Ben Bounds has been a little bit busier, but certainly 28-17, you see there the possession changed in the second period as the Blaze really tighten the screws, especially over the last 3 or 4 shifts of that second period.
Yeah, they had a lot more shots, but like you said, Bounds has done the job keeping Cardiff Devils in a good position here going into the third. Obviously, if Cardiff keeps sitting back, well, then they're going to take some more shots again. So it'll be interesting to see how Cardiff approach it. I think there could be a few tired legs on that team, and that's why Coach Lord is sitting back a little bit more, maybe absorbing a bit of pressure, hoping for to get puck recovery and then to create a good scoring opportunity from that.
And certainly he must have been thinking, Hudson loses a skate blade. What else can go wrong with our D-core? Two of their best D-men out with suspension, Marsh and Hotham, and then Hudson loses a blade. So he's got to hope that the third period maybe comes together a little bit on the back end. Let's have a look at the second goal, the go-ahead goal. It was a second power play goal for Lee Salters.
Well, again, they play the puck wide and keep possession, and quick puck movement, the little shot here to the net, good screen and a deflection. Two big men in front, making it tough on Stewart. I don't think he ever sees that puck till it hits the back of the net. So a good job from the Devils, not just their puck movement, but also willing to get to the front of the net when the shots are coming in from the point. And that traffic is what makes it tough. I mean, you always hear that take the goalie's eyes away, and that's exactly what Salters does right there. And I believe that Haddad out in front of him there. Anyways, 2 guys there taking the goalie's eyes away, as they say, and it's in the back of the net. So that's how you make it tough on a big goalie like Stewart.
Yeah, Haddad was in front there. Salters gets the last touch. 2 goals for him on the power play. He has 11 on the season, but Kirka, 2 assists. Really impressed with both assists on that one, especially the first goal was nice. But right there, just gets the puck on net, a forward playing the point on the power play.
Yeah, he's a real clever player, Kirka, great passer, and like you say, he reads the play really well. Lots of experience there. Excellent on the power play, and anytime you can put a forward on the power play, it's a big, big plus.
Classy move, classy man. Right now, third period action on the docket. Mike Hicks ready to get us started. Robinson and Lord to dig in. Robinson, good job on the face-off. Trailing by a goal, and as we said off the top, they've had trouble scoring goals. 45 coming into this game, 46 now, and they'd like to get that offense clicking. No time like the present. Here's Richardson. Richardson up the right wing to Martin. Martin is a guy that knows where the net is for sure. Came into this game with 42 points. Here's Culligan. Culligan playing the point with some injuries, as we've said a few times, but I'm still amazed at this level that a guy can play forward and defense. It's tough If you're a new viewer to hockey, it's incredibly hard to ask a guy to do that, and he has been admirable in this one. Culligan trying to stand his ground, but it will be Coventry getting into that hash mark area. Fisher lays it off for Trim. Trim into the hash mark area himself for Robinson, but it'll be Martin. A long shift for Martin. He'll just go and get some fresh legs over the boards for Cardiff. Hendricks, and we mentioned we didn't see much of him in that second period. He's out there now with Kirka. Richardson out in front with Hendricks, and Kirka and Lazon get all tied up, and Tanaka, he had a pizza up the middle right there and just screamed it wide. Trim back to the point as the Blaze starting to feel it here. Haddad trying to settle it down. Jones, who's performed admirably in this game as well, getting a little bit more ice time than usual with some injuries to guys like Brent Walton and obviously suspensions to Marsh and Hotham. Coventry on the counter attack. Here's Cowley. Cowley with a nice spin move and unselfishly dumps it to Tate, who rips that wide. Magnificent stuff from Russ Cowley. Salters pushing forward on Cannell. Here comes Tanaka. Tanaka out front. Cowley trying to draw a penalty there. He was knocked down. Play goes on. Mike Hicks's arm stays down. Morissette into the corner for Hervado. Great shift by Russ Cowley there, and Tanaka. Morissette trying to get it back to Hudson. Hudson lays it off. Hervado turns, fires. Jorgensen knocks that down in front as we have got some action here in the third period at the Sky Dome. Still 2-1 Cardiff. Here's Richardson. Richardson in behind Bounds. He's got Batch for support. He wants to go up the left wing, and he's got Martin. That's the right decision. Martin so silky smooth. Doucette and Martin play give and go. Here comes Martin. Martin shoots. Oh, big save by Stewart.
Yeah, great save. Stewart just took the angle away, but again, good puck moving from Doucette and Martin. A really good 1-2 punch. A nice save there from Bounds coming the other way. Jorgensen gets a good shot away, but good up and down action here in the third period. Both teams creating good scoring opportunities.
Magnificent action. Martin with a great chance, and then Jorgensen on the counter attack. Jim Jorgensen, 2 goals and 8 assists on the season, and right there really smartly uses Richardson as a screen, goes right through the legs there. Good read by Jorgensen.
Yeah, real smart play. Defenseman backs in below the top of the circles. If you can't make it past anyone, shoot it between his legs at the net, drive hard for your rebound. A real smart play.
Lord knifes a backhand high up and into the glove of Stewart. He will hang on for a face-off.
I mean, the Blaze missed a couple of great chances earlier. I mean, Tanaka screamed one over the net, like you said, and then a great
Tate had a chance.
Spin move from Cowley, and he just I didn't even see Tate coming until he released the pass. I mean, good vision from Cowley on that one, and Tate just screened one past the post. So a couple of good scoring opportunities for the Blaze. I mean, if they keep getting these chances, eventually they'll bang one in the back of the net.
Well, after talking to Lord in that intermission, you said it'll be interesting to see how they've played it. In those first few shifts here early in the third stanza, what do you think?
Well, I think they were more aggressive to start the period. I think they got the puck in and tried to get some offense going there. And but you know, it's a 2-1 game. You're going to play a smart game, and you're going to play defense when you have to, and you're going to go for it when you can. And so you know, the Devils have a team that have been in these tight games before. They know what they have to do.
Tate to Venus out front. Cowley had the puck in his skates. Kirka to Haddad. Oh, good back check there. Good stick check by Ross Venus.
Yeah, Venus works really hard, and he always comes back hard through the middle of the ice and then picks up his check. And you know, the kind of guys you like to have in your team. And but again, you know, where the Devils are real dangerous. I mean, okay, we see here. I'll just go back to what we're seeing on the screen here. Pass out, but it just doesn't connect, and off they go. This is where the Devils are dangerous. Puck goes one way, they'll have 3-4 guys jumping up the ice, creating a 3-on-2, odd man rush, 4-on-3. So you have to be really careful. You really have to consider leaving your third forward at least in the high slot area in a good back checking position.
Hudson, just a quick wrist shot with Salters in front. Never a bad play. Here's a breakaway. Here's a chance. Oh boy, Lazon inside out. does everything but put that in behind bounds. Let's see.
Is it a penalty shot or is it a trip? I mean, I don't. Hicksey still got his arm up. He's avoided calling the penalty shot there. Lauzon was in.
What a pass by Jorgensen.
Maybe he feels he's thinking it over. You know, there's nothing wrong with that as a referee. You don't have to make that call right away. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to give a penalty shot on that one. I think, you know, I'll give Hicksey the benefit of the doubt on that. But a big opportunity now here for the Blaze, a power play opportunity. You're down a goal. You want to take advantage of it. I mean, a good play from the Blaze to create that power play. The guy Lauzon shoots up the middle, creates an opening for that. It was a great pass up through the middle. I don't know who made that pass.
Jorgensen with the stretch pass.
Yeah, nice pass from Jorgensen there, and Lauzon breaks free. Definitely the penalty. It's a penalty. There's no question about that. Yeah, I don't think you can give a penalty shot on that one.
Lauzon, to his credit, still made a couple of dekes there and really gave Bounds something to think about. Richardson for tripping. 16 minutes to go in the period. Cardiff with 2 power play goals. And now the Blaze, their third opportunity with the man advantage, looking for a power play snipe of their own. Here's Trim. Trim lays it back. Oh, what a move! Lauzon gets filled in. Oh, he was in the trolley tracks. Give him credit. Got right back up after he got steamrolled by Hendricks. Magnificent stuff from Lauzon. Here's Lord. Lord short-handed. Lauzon puts a body on the much bigger Lord, but it's out front from Martin, not the guy you want to have short-handed between the hash marks. Here's Hudson. Hudson leans into that. Blocker save by Stewart. And now Hudson and Lauzon having words up at the Cardiff blue line. And Lauzon got filled in by Hendricks and jumped right back up. Here's a quick shot by Tanaka. Shouldered away by Bounds and swept all the way down by Haddad. Petrus in behind Stewart. Quick up. Robinson was 1-on-3 there. Does the smart thing, holds up and waits for reinforcements. Here's Fisher. Fisher out of the corner. 35 seconds to go on the power play. Shot never gets through. Good block by Jones on Petrus. And the net off its moorings, much to the disappointment of the fans in behind Bounds. As we look at the penalty kill from the Devils, ranked second.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at the replay here, Lauzon, yeah, I mean, that's not a penalty shot for me, but it is a penalty, of course, and Lauzon does a good job getting in the clear, but did he ever get pop coming through the slot area there?
Oh, Hendricks had him.
But what I like from Lauzon is he got right back up, got into position, and got a real good scoring chance, and also back-checked on the play to take away a 2-on-1, so you got to give him credit. He's not the biggest guy, and he got right back up there and took that.
Here's Robinson, has the puck bounce away from him. Yeah, I tell you what, Carl Lauzon, 66 points last year, 31 goals. He was the assistant player coach for Omar Pasha and Hull last year. So out there, he gets absolutely railroaded by big Trevor Hendricks, who's about 6'2" and 225. Carl Lauzon is 5'9" and maybe $165, so a big mismatch. Jumps up, has a scoring chance, back checks. That's stuff that coaches love.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he felt all of that too, because he was a little bit off balance and he was a bit low at the time too. And Hendricks got down there and met him with a good solid hit, but he, you know, very brave of him just to get up and fight through that and not to make a meal out of something that wasn't there. So that's what you like to see from your guys as a coach, you know, that will to just battle through whatever is thrown at you.
Richardson is back out there. The power play has gone. It is 5-on-5 hockey now with 13:54 to go. Fisher. Fisher digs that out behind Petrus and Lord, but then Lord has it come right to him, and Lord has Hervado up the middle. Hervado had to hold up for the pass, or he might have been able to tear down that seam and get in behind Robinson. Stewart down in a heap there. Lord couldn't throw it out front. But the Blaze trying to go up the middle. Petrus. And luckily for him, Doucette couldn't knock that down. The Blaze want to make changes, they do so. Here's Richardson, fresh legs now after his time in the penalty box. Here's Noble. Noble, D to D. Nearly picked off by Martin. But now Cowley. Good wheels, Cowley. Goes to the outside of Culligan. Cowley stapled to the end corner boards by Culligan. Martin comes in there, as does Ross Venus. Venus couldn't get it back to the point. Here's Doucette. Doucette over the blue line, puts on the brakes and just sifts it into the corner. And Noble will pick it up there for the Blaze.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Cardiff here playing really smart tactically against a breakout in the neutral zone. Basically backing up and trying to recuperate the puck and create a transitional opportunity. For Coventry, the key is just to get the puck in deep and then try to create a cycle like they're doing.
Chance, Venus out front. Tate with the wrist shot on a glove save by Bounds. Flashing the leather and robbing Ashley Tate.
Yeah, another good save from Bounds there. I mean, he comes out, takes the angle away, and like you said, knocks that puck out of the air, and a great save there. Another good opportunity for Tate.
He's been impressive.
He's having a good third period. He's getting into the right places. And Ashley Tate, his whole career, he's been a clutch guy. He gets those third period goals, and it's not surprising to me that he's getting the good opportunities.
And David Clements goes back in behind the net. The Blaze, quick on the counter, and Tanaka tried to get it back there, and I tell you what, Lazon, if he had been in a shooting position to receive that, it would have been trouble for Bounds, but it was behind him, and they'll go all the way back. Clements, David Clements, hauled down. The faithful here at the Skydome wanted a call, none is coming. Cannell trying to reverse it, back up the left wing, and now he's under siege as Hervado was quick in there. Lazon dumps it in, follows his own dumping, and then tries to get involved with Richardson. But Richardson, as you said earlier, Paul, he's so good along the wall. You can see why he has been such a warrior for GB and the Cardiff Devils. Here's Valabec, and that has just come out over the line.
Yeah, I mean, that's frustrating for the Blaze, who are, creating some pressure here, and the net keeps coming off, and you could see they're trying to have a word with Hicksey about that, saying, hey, is he knocking it off on purpose or not? And
that was a save on Tate. I mean, what a quick glove by Bounds.
Yeah, great save there. And, the Blaze, I find the Blaze have been very dangerous when they get the puck behind the Devils' net. There seems to be some passes to the guys coming in a bit late for opportunities. And
guys getting in behind there at the top of the circle.
Yeah, and if they connect up on one of those, I mean, the opportunity's been there. You just haven't connected up on it. So I think they're going to keep trying that till they get one.
Culligan looking for Doucette. Doucette away to the races. Doucette shoots. Oh, and Stewart went down. He was flopping around like a 6'5" octopus, but he keeps the puck out.
Wow, I mean, that's the speed of the Devils, though. I mean, Doucette flies through the neutral zone there, and that's a pass off the boards. A great pass off the boards. I mean, well-timed. And you think here Doucette's going to score one. He's a natural finisher, but Stewart just gets that big long leg down and keeps the puck out of the net. Doucette had to go up with it, but when you're coming that fast and you're trying to make a move and then get the puck up, it's not always that easy. You can see there, he's not able to get under the puck enough to pop it over Stewart. A great save from Stewart there to keep this game, to a one-goal difference.
Well, that's why some scouts salivate over a 6'5" goalie who can move like that. If he's 5'10", he doesn't make that save.
Well, now we know why he's stretching all the time, because he had to have a big stretch to get that leg across there to make that save.
Impressive stuff from Stewart. Ryan Stewart was the outstanding goaltender at the end of season awards in the EIHL last year. He had a 2.76 goals against average a season ago and a .921 save percentage. And with a save like that, there's good times are coming if you're a Blaze fan, because he looks back on form.
Yeah, I mean, we know what he can do. I mean, like you said, he's won the playoff championship for them last year, and I mean, he had obviously some good players with him. There's no question about that. But I mean, if they're gonna win games, a lot of it's gonna come down to him.
Noble pinching way up from his blue line position. He's going to get back to the point now, and here he is, Noble. Richardson trying to take away his shooting lane, does a great job. Here's Tate with a quick shot. Bobbled in front. It was an excellent play by Robinson as he battled with Martin and Richardson. Here's Robinson. Robinson filled in by Hendricks. And Hendricks didn't have many shifts in that second period, but he has been physical in this third. Hendricks goes out to take away the space of Ashley Tate. Shot through, just screamed wide. And that'll come outside.
I mean, you know, a great job from the Blaze here, just working, trying to create a goal. And I mean, let's give Bounds credit. I mean, look at the puck possession, 70% to 30% in the third period. You know who's dominating the period, but Bounds for me is the key right now, because he's coming out, he's taking the angle away, he's not giving up many second opportunities. And when you're a little bit short-staffed and maybe a little bit tired, you need your goalie to play big, and he certainly is doing that job right now for the Devils.
You need that rebound control, don't you? Because the defenseman might not have the legs right now to fight off a second or third attempt.
Exactly. And, you know, he's a top goalie in this league, and like you say, a GB goalie and international player. And time again, he makes the big saves for the Devils under pressure in the third periods, and you could see, I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
Offside there, Trim is not happy with the call, because Lazan was deking and diving, looking like he was going to be dangerous again, and they said Trim was offside over here on the right wing. Here's an interesting point. You mentioned there his international appearances, Ben Bounds, and you know Stephen Murphy very well. There's two. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Trim was offside there. He's a little bit off to the flank.
A close one.
But if you're Pete Russell and you're looking at Bounds, Cannell with a good hit there on Piggott. You're looking at Stephen Murphy, you're looking at Ben Bounds. You've got to be pretty happy for Pete Russell the way two of your, what should be your two goalies in the upcoming World Championships are playing.
Well, for me, you know, at the level they're playing at in that group, I mean, they would have two of the best goalies in the group, I believe. That's how good these guys are. I mean, they're top goalies. I mean, they can play in a lot of leagues in Europe, both Murphy and Bounds.
Cannell to Tanaka. Tanaka bounds away from Hudson. Finds Lazan. Lazan really looking dangerous as this game goes on. Batch takes his, puts him on his behind. Haddad the other way, but again Lazan straight back up. He's not a big guy, as we said, but boy is he durable. Blaze on the counter-attack. Quick shot by Tanaka, that was wide as Trim was going to the net. Valabic just throws it in there, and I don't think Bounds saw that till it was past him. Culligan was right in front of Bounds, and Valabic is really impressive with just getting the puck through.
Yeah, he reads that well when he gets the puck on his stick on any when the puck is rimmed around. He's very quick on you know, getting it to the net and making a smart play with it.
Salters outside of Valabic. Salters looking for the hat trick. Turn aside there. Salters sticks with it. Salters sticks out the left leg and the left arm. He is a strong man, is Lee Salters. Tate couldn't get it out. Salters keeps it in, but Tate will get another opportunity, and Tate with a nice pass there. Drag move, followed up by Jorgensen. Jorgensen with a good shot and nearly had a second opportunity. Cowley to Tate. Tate out front, bounced weirdly off of Bounds, and Morris sets back the other way.
Yeah, good job. Oh, we've got a penalty coming up here, but a good job from Culligan. You know, he's been asked to play defense tonight, and Bounds, you know, one of his rebounds gets away from him, but Culligan kind of saves the day and clears that for him, helps him out, and Culligan's done a fantastic job for a forward who's been asked to move on defense, and it looks like a penalty here to the Blaze. Not one. They've had the momentum, and you don't. Yeah, it's a hooking call.
Hooking call against Venus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've had the momentum most of this period, the Blaze, and now here's an opportunity maybe to kill this game off, to take the wind out of the sails of Coventry, who've been really creating the majority of the chances. And then, as we saw, the statistics, 70% to 30% puck possession. Here's the penalty here. Yeah, I mean, the stick's in there, and
there's not much in that for me at this point, but in real time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the referee only has a split second to make that call. I mean, you know, it's a 50-50 as far as I'm concerned, and he calls the penalty. So the way to be sure that you don't get that penalty is you don't stick that stick in. Yeah, you keep the stick away from the guy's feet, and you won't get that penalty.
Lord wants to get into a shooting position between the hash marks. Comes back to Richardson. Richardson through a screen. That's blocked in front. I think it actually hit Lord, and that'll come all the way down. Bounds, who actually plays the puck fairly well, was going to pull out a stretch pass there, but Richardson said, no, I'll take it. Richardson to Martin. Martin to Morissette. Back to Martin as he tries to set up Doucette. Doucette, quick release. He had the top corner there, but screamed it wide.
Yeah, I mean, Doucette, you don't want to give him too many opportunities in that slot area or in and around the net, because he's going to bury him and Martin are very, very sharp. You don't want to give him those opportunities, especially, in a 2-1 game like this.
Lauzon then shorthanded, had the one-timer. He has been the best forward for Coventry in this third period. Here's Doucette. Doucette across the ice. Salters bounces off of Jorgensen. Jorgensen goes down. And Lee Salters, 6'4", 225. He is a big, big man. Hudson with the shot. Here's Doucette. Doucette, Lauzon got down on his belly to try and block that. Good job by the penalty killers thus far. Mart off to the right to Lord, and Lord had that puck skitter away from him, and then Lauzon takes down his man, and Hudson will have to retreat. Hudson to Mart. Salters got crossed up there and nearly got hit by Tanaka. There's a chance shorthanded, and Tanaka disappointed there with Jorgensen. He wanted the pass. Jorgensen just put a high shot or a...
Well, I thought that was a smart play from Jorgensen, because he's tired and he knows, okay, I can maybe get that past Tanaka, but if I miss it, that could have been a too many men on the ice call, but Hixie let that go. But if he doesn't get the pass through and he's stuck on the ice killing a penalty, so he's got to make the smart play and get that puck deep. I know, a bit frustrating for Tanaka because he's heading the other way 100 miles an hour, but sometimes, your defenseman, when he's tired, he wants to get off the ice, and he has possibly the long change from the other side too, so you got to get off when you're tired.
The power play is over. Venus is back out there, and Venus crashes into bounds. Goes back to the line. Venus is in front as Cannell tries to get the puck through. Cannell tries again. He tries to go high over the right shoulder of Bounds, but as we mentioned before, Bounds at 6'2" is a big, big guy. Tate back to Cowley. Cowley with a nice touch pass. Cowley, one-timer, blocked by Martin. We talk about Joey Martin and his 42 points to lead the Devils. Right there, that block is huge.
Yeah, we don't always talk about his defensive play, and he gets the job done there by blocking the shot. Him and Lord, both of them, 2 big blocks on this shift. So, they're doing the right things when they're giving up the point shots. They're blocking them, and that's a big part of it. Like I say, anytime you can block those shots, your goalie loves it. I mean, it gives him a little bit of a break and gives him a chance to get his breath back. And the Devils, time and time again, when I watch them play, they're willing to get down and block those shots and go back to the bench with bumps and bruises. But that's how you win games. You got to be willing to do that, to make those plays.
Well, it also invigorates the bench, doesn't it? When your star player, your leading point getter, is collapsing in front and blocking shots like that. When, sometimes superstars maybe aren't known for doing that, but Martin really energizing the bench.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows leadership. Shows a guy who wants to win and is willing to do anything to help his team get the result.
And Valavic, he's got the lone goal for Coventry in this one. Goal scoring has been their issue, no doubt about it. Can someone step up in this last 4 minutes and provide some offense for the home side on a night when they honor Adam Calder and all his magnificent achievements? And that year he had over 60 goals. Magnificent stuff. Valavic to Robinson. Robinson tied up for a moment there with the linesman, but moves the puck quickly. Richardson trying to find Haddad. And Richardson, you know what? We've talked a lot about some of the unsung heroes. Richardson, in absence of Hoffman Marsh, Richardson has hardly left the ice in the second and third period for Cardiff.
No, they deserve a pat on the back. Richardson, Batch, and company. I mean, they've played a great game, their defensemen, and they've gotten a lot of ice time. And sometimes the thing about on defense is sometimes it's easier to conserve your energy than a forward. But saying that, I mean, the Cardiff Devils defensemen have done a fantastic job tonight.
Here's Richardson right on cue. Hard off the glass. This time it will be an icing against Cardiff.
No, that's not a bad play. I mean, if you're a little bit tired and you don't see a good passing option, get out of the zone, banging off the glass, hope maybe it hits one of the Coventry players and then you don't get the icing. But sometimes it's not a bad idea to take an icing and just get your breath back and talk to your teammates, set up a face-off and go from there.
And get that little 20-second breather, isn't it? It's almost as good as a timeout sometimes. Face-off to the right of Bounds. Jones, who I think has been good in the face-off dot tonight as well. Another one of the unsung heroes. Jones this time can't get it from Lazan. Tanaka and Lazan try and hook up in that corner, but it will be Haddad. Haddad dumps it in for Kirka. Jorgensen and Kirka. Haddad trying to get it back to Batch, but I tell you what, Lazan just magic. Here's Tanaka. Tanaka! Great chance. Stick check bounds. Fantastic goaltending for both Cardiff and Coventry in this one. Tanaka out front. Heavy shot from the point coming through. It was blocked. Trim trying to go backdoor after Clements had the bomb blocked by Jones. Clements along the half wall. Lazan in Wayne Gretzky's office. Back cycles. Back to Clements. That's just blocked by Kirka and sent up and over the net. Batch to the line. No further. He's got to be harder on that puck. Here's Trim. Trim. Tanaka. Tanaka to Trim. Oh, Bounds with a game-saving stop right there.
Yeah, Bounds again. He's just making those saves. He's doing just enough to keep that puck out of the back of the net. I mean, Tanaka has a great opportunity here. Uses his speed, does well, but Bounds is just a little bit smarter. Gets that stick out. I mean, if anything, as Tanaka gets to the middle of the net, he maybe could have tried to slip it over his shoulder between his legs. I think he tries to go a bit too wide, gives Bounds a bit too much time to react to the break, semi-breakaway he has there. But Tanaka is flying out there in the third period. That Lozon, Tanaka, Jorgensen, the three of them are creating a lot of good opportunities for the Blaze.
Great set play there. Hudson leaned on that, trying to get it to Lord on the fly. Unfortunately, it's late stages of the third period. The ice is chewed up, but interesting to see that set piece on the face-off late in the defensive zone by Cardiff.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you're always going to try to set things up, and that was a good example of it. But if you look again, Bounce smart. You know, the puck comes in, doesn't take a chance, just gloves it. Let's get a whistle. Let's get our breaths back. You know, if we need to make a change, Francis, the bench coach, will make that change for us. And get somebody fresh out here, or get our top face-off guy out here for the face-off. And Martin does a good job winning that one.
I think that's an important point that you make, that Bounce happy just to take that defensive zone draw because he has such confidence in Martin in the face-off dot. Martin, 2-on-1. Martin to Lord. Oh! Wow.
Did he stop that? I mean,
what a chance to salt it away. Stewart.
What a great save. I mean, I thought that was an empty net. He had half the net to shoot at, but there's an example. Stewart never quits on anything. I mean, he'll jump across, and let's have a look at this because it's a magnificent save. Nice pass there. He's got all the net to shoot at. And credit to Stewart. He just doesn't give up on that. He jumps across and just gets the glove on that. I mean, it's almost, you know, like to score on him there, you'd have to go under the bar, and it's not always easy to put it under the bar. So not only is he big, but he's very nimble in his crease.
And you didn't see it in that replay, but Lord came back up the right wing looking skyward as if to say, how did that not go in? Chance out front, and again, Stewart. Morissette with the second attempt, and Stewart is almost out at the hash mark to make that save.
No, he's certainly not giving up on this one. I mean, it's still 2-1, and he knows if he can keep that puck out of the net, they still can pull their goalie for theirs. That's a great save, isn't that? That's an amazing
look
save.
Look at Lord in the corner. He starts to look skyward there.
Yeah, save of the week there. Well, we'll see how the other goalies did, but that was a fantastic save. And again, just before that, after that, I should say, he makes another couple of good saves.
Yeah, the one off Morissette was dandy indeed.
Yeah, and he's just doing everything he can to try to help his team get some points out of this game.
Incredible stuff. I couldn't believe that the puck didn't go in. I think you felt the same way, Paul. I was like, how did it not go in? And you know what? Lord is a good goal scorer, 8 goals on the season. And Andrew Lord had 23 last season. Usually those go in for him, but not on a guy like Brian Stewart. Dumped in to the left corner. Richardson hard up the wall. Hervado.
The goalie's out of the net.
Yeah, with a minute to go, no Stewart. 6-on-5 situation. Chuck Weber and the Blaze going to tie this up. Here's Jorgensen. Jorgensen got the pitching wedge out there. That was not touched. It just came straight up into the netting.
Yeah, and the puck rolled as it came across the ice to him, and he just couldn't keep it down there. Unfortunately, because there was a lot of traffic in front. I know Bounds was keeping an eye on it, but still there was a lot of guys standing in front of him. sometimes, you got to find a way to get that puck on net, and it makes it tough here. They got to put the goal. Now Stewart's got to go back in the net, neutral zone face-off, and they're going to have to try to switch them up. They need to get a guy off the ice, the Blaze here. It looks like they're going to call a timeout and reorganize, so we'll see what happens for the face-off, but it's obviously a 30-second timeout, and Weber will go over what he wants to do or what he would want to do if they get a face-off in the offensive zone. I'm sure he's going to set something up on this face-off to try to get Stewart off the ice as quickly as he can. I think there's 54 seconds left in the game here, so they still have time, the Blaze. I mean, anything could happen. You got to get the puck on net. A lot of times, if you look at the shots that have been coming in, they just missed the net, the Blaze. I mean, the opportunities have been there, but they just haven't been able to get them on target. I think Bounds is forcing a lot of that because he's coming out and he's challenging the shooters and not giving them a lot of net to shoot at, forcing them to try to pick the corners on him, and that's when you tend to miss the net, when you try to make that perfect shot. So a lot of credit there for Bounds and his goaltending.
From a coaching perspective now, Paul Ady, you've been in this situation many times with 54 seconds to go. There's really nothing to panic about if you're Chuck Weber, but as you said, you just want to get Stewart out, and then that's the next phase, isn't it?
Yeah, you want to get that puck in quickly, and you want to get your goalie out and try to get puck possession and create, use that extra man to get puck possession and create a scoring opportunity. A lot of times the points open up in this situation. Teams are more willing to give up a point shot than to give up that slot area, so teams collapse down a lot of guys on the 6-on-5, and then your opportunities to go up top and try to get the deflection goal or a rebound goal.
Well, the goalie gone again. Godfrey hammered it in, and Stewart got to the bench. 6-on-5 situation again for the Blaze, trailing 2-1. Petrus was back into his own zone. Martin with a great job on the forecheck here, and nearly had a chance at that open goal. 30 seconds to go. And Petrus had his time and space taken away by Hendricks, a good active stick. And the puck is
It looks like
out.
A penalty call here. Did the puck come straight out? Is it going to be... it looks like Doucette's going off, so it's going to be 6-on-4 here in the last, 23 seconds. So a big opportunity here for the Blaze. Two-man advantage here in the dying moments of the game.
23 seconds to go, Paul. 6-on-4.
And a big face-off coming up here. I mean, if the Blaze can get a hold of this, they'll probably be able to create a good scoring opportunity. Let's see what happens.
Well, buckle up, folks. It has been an exciting game end-to-end most of the evening with some great goaltending, and now it rests on Ben Bounds' broad shoulders. Can he hold this scoreline? Martin, with time running down, 12 seconds to go. Joey Martin just dumps it down. Godfrey, one last rush for the Coventry Blaze. Tate tried to kick it to Robinson, and Godfrey touches it. 60 minutes in the books, done and dusted. Cardiff take the win and the points. A 2-1 final at Skydome.
Well, I mean, credit the Devils, shorthanded tonight. Maybe like you were saying, 3 games in 3 nights last weekend, maybe a little bit tired, but, Bounds did the job for them, I feel, especially in the second half of this game. He just didn't give up any good second opportunities, and he was magnificent in there, as was Stewart for the Blaze, but I thought the Blaze created more pressure in the second half of the game. Probably deserved another goal, but some nights it doesn't happen, and we can see their struggle of not getting the puck in the back of the net. Even their first goal came off of the Cardiff player, so that's what they're dealing with right now. A little bit of lack of confidence in their goal scoring in and around the net, and but you can't say that the Blaze didn't play hard tonight, because they gave it everything they had. They worked really hard, tried to get the tying goal, and it was a good battle, a good hockey game, and the Devils, you can see, the strength. Obviously, they play well in their defensive zone, and Bounds makes key saves, but also they're very, very dangerous on the transition, and they can sit back and wait for their opportunities because they have a lot of gifted forwards to create those offensive opportunities on the transition. So, a really good hockey game here. Obviously, an important win for the Devils because they want to stay on top of the standings, and they could maybe open up a bit of a gap here if the Panthers don't get the result up in Scotland.
Well, let's look back at the 3 goals from this contest. And here it starts off with Kirka.
Yeah, I mean, Kirka comes in here, nice pass across. That's in the back of the net. Stewart just couldn't get across as quickly as he did on the last one we saw late in the third period there. And there's the goal there to finish for Salters.
Leaned into that, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Salters can finish. I mean, he's a tough player, but he's also a good goal scorer. And yeah, he just finishes that off, no problem. I mean, he buries that. A nice finish there. A lot of the net to shoot out on that one, and I mean here it's it hits the D-man's skate. Yeah, he doesn't even see it. It goes off his skate. Nothing he can do about that. Unfortunate for him, but it did give Coventry, I think, a boost and a bit more confidence. A smart play from Valleybeck to get that puck to the front of the net there, and a goal to make that 1-1.
Hervado, as they move it around so well. And Hudson and Kirk at the point. It started with Hervado, but then Hudson and Kirk really make some magic here for Salters.
Yeah, I mean, Salters just casually comes in front. No one realizes he's there and does a good job screening the goalie. A little tip in, and it's in the back of the net. So a good job from him, doing the right things. You know, you're the low man on the PP. You want to get to the front of the net when those point shots come in. And he's got the size to do that, and he's hard to. A few guys ran into him tonight, and you can see it. You know, he doesn't get knocked off the puck very often. He's a big, strong winger.
2 power play goals, has 11 of this season, a man of the match award, and why not?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well deserved. I mean, a couple of big goals there, and he was solid all night. Played a good game for his team, and. You know, he's a physical player, and he does. You know, he's a good all-around player too. I mean, some people look more at him as toughness to the side of his game, but he can also score goals and play well defensively and block shots and do the things for his team.